Just a couple of minutes here, guys, and we'll get the ball rolling.
Magic keep you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this. More fusions. Welcome to Teleria. Miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky. Like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed. Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shouts to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murder raking with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jensen. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my Shadakin. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight like Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community we keep it strong. Valerian back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us Raid Zillas. Sacreds. I don't wanna see ice like Frost Bringers. Some say YST, you've got a cold heart. Yo, Smiley, come and bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raid Zilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raid Zilla, fire. Monster. Shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit wake with a clickbait, got paid, I made I raid viz. Glow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we then bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Shard 2x, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raid Zilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raid Zilla, fire. Monster. Shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those to spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hitting like Victor Ted. He did it first though without a bug, man, he hit for over 700 mil. Sean party with Layla at, who got partner this year? J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Raid Zilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one mouse, bench stress, trying to roll sub stats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click like a lab rat. Is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo, Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. mind you, the minutes here to dominate. I'm greatest ever nominate. I'm getting set to beat like I'm a surgeon. Time to operate. I'm cutting him again. My lyrics gonna blade him with the skill up above every fucking body in the game, debilitating every rapper thinking they can denigrate him and make anybody who playing right afraid of pain, but don't nobody want it, but they're gonna spin it anyway. Cause y'all beginning to see that I'm Amityville. I'm a killer. You need to seal him a thriller. Me, I'm a Liam Manila. You bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth to listen to me. I keep it raving, call me Cena, cause there ain't no seeing me. I'm the deity of rapidity, increasing the speed and killing any affinity. Motherfucker, you better run or you finna be dead like free to play in silver 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch. I'm despicable. You wanna battle? I'm unkillable. I'm rolling with edges invisible. I'm inexplicable. I'm unequivocal. I'm unforgivable. I'm fucking biblical. An orange criminal. You never catch him digital. The god I rate a ruler. Man, stop.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this. More fusions. Welcome to Teleria. Miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky. Like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed. Dude, Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shouts to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murdering king with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jetson. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my Shanakin. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight like Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community we keep it strong. Valerian back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us Raid Zillas. Sacreds. I don't wanna see ice like Frost Bringers. Some say YST you've got a cold heart. Your Smiley come and bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raid Zilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire. Raid Zilla, fire. Monster. Shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit wake with a clickbait, got paid, I made, I rate viz. Flow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we then bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Start to X, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie on your mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raid Zilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire. Raid Zilla, fire. Monster. Shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those that spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hitting like Victor Ted. He did it first though without a bug, man, he hit for over 700 mil. Sharp party with Layla at, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. or just use Chris. Like Kenpachi says, I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Rayzilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one, a mass bench stress, trying to roll sub stats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click like a lab rat. Is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo, Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. RNG the minutes here to dominate him, greatest ever nominate him. Get inside the beat like I'm a surgeon, time to operate him, cutting him again. My lyrics gonna blade him with the skill up above every fucking body in the game, debilitating every rapper thinking they can integrate him and make anybody who playing right afraid to pay, but don't nobody want it, but they're gonna spin it anyway. Cause y'all beginning to see that I'm a villain, I'm a killer. You need to seal him, a thriller me. I'm a Liam Manila, you bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth to listen me. I keep it raving, call me Cena, cause they're in the sea of me. I'm the deity of rapidity, increasing the speed of killing any affinity. Motherfucker, you better run or you finna be dead like free to play in silver 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch. I'm despicable. You wanna battle, I'm unkillable. I'm rolling with Dutch, invisible. I'm inexplicable. I'm unequivocal. I'm unforgivable. I'm fucking biblical. An orange criminal. You never catch him digital. They got our radar ruler. Man, stop.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing.
What's going on, guys?
Take two.
I'm a failure as a content creator and a podcast host. You figure I've been doing this for a while. I should know when the mic is on or off, you know. But welcome back to another episode of the Knights of TELERIA. Guys, this is episode number 43. We have had a lot of things going on this week in Raid, and actually the Knights hit a milestone today. And so before we get into all that, though, let's introduce my co-host for the show today. In the green, we have Mr. PJ. PJ, how are you doing, brother?
Doing great. Watched some amazing UFC last night, and happy to be on here and talk about some upcoming raid stuff. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. In the red, we have the gentleman who recently, and he might have to explain himself now, has said hashtag ban Armands from using him in Lab Arena. But sir, you ended up using him against somebody, and I got called out on last Sunday's podcast for it.
No, I mean, I gave up on the name change. Nobody was doing it. I changed my name to No Armand's Pick. And if I had first pick, I wouldn't pick Armand's. Armand's has got to be 99% first pick right now. At least in Gold 4. I don't know where else, but it's, yeah, I'm sure. Everybody's got him. He's insane. So I made my name No Armand's Pick. Now, granted, not everybody may understand what I'm saying, or maybe it doesn't translate well, whatever it is. It wasn't working. So I stopped. I changed my name back, and I'm using them again, bro. I'm not gonna sit there and just give Armands away and lose 100 fights because of it. Like I gotta play the game, man. I think Wukong's coming off the bench too. I'm tired of Wukong, brother. I'm so tired of that
guy. I give him up as a ban pick just right off the bat. Let him take what they want. That way, I can either get the Seafield or Rotos. But
yeah.
But yeah, Mr. G Mills, how are you doing? How's your week?
I'm great, man. I'm great. How are you? What's going on?
What's going on? All right. In the top blue up there, we've got the one, the only Mr. Sexy, FinalKenpachi. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, my friend. Watching the Fallout New TV show, actually. It's freaking awesome. I highly recommend it, you guys. About the Armands, I still not picking him because I don't have a book. So...
I heard really good things about that Fallout show, and
it's really good.
People have been urging me to watch it, so I never got into the game, but I'll definitely have to start.
You are going to start playing the game after that, trust me.
Okay. All right, right next to me, it looks like we're all kind of matching today. We're all wearing black and white. We've got the one, the only Dab Master himself, Zero Brew. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? We are doing fantastic. I don't even know what else to say other than I'm glad to be here because it is the 100th episode. Sorry. All right. We're good.
Not the 100th, 43rd, but close enough.
1 year. Sorry. 1 year. 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 1 year. Okay, hold on. The 1 year episode. All right. And right next to him, we've got JR Stars 3, who, again, if it wasn't for him supporting me with this show, we wouldn't have been here a year now. Mr. J, how are you doing?
Doing amazing, bro. So many things going on, in the past 2 weeks. Not only in my life, but in the game as well. But I'm thankful that everybody's here today so we can talk about what's going on soon.
Nice. All right, so as Mr. Zero Brew mentioned already, today is the 1 year anniversary of the Knights of Teleria podcast. Kind of funny here. I went back. I was trying to edit out some stuff for to try and make everything kind of a little more unified and everything, because lasting a year means, hey, we're doing something right. And I started watching some of the first episodes, and God, were they cringeworthy. I was like, how did we ever get this off the ground? But we did. We're here. It's a year later, and I am so happy to be sharing this with all of you and the community. It is phenomenal. So we're gonna start planning some stuff up. It won't be like Plarium where we plan things for 6 months, but we will do something special for hitting the 1 year anniversary mark. All right. So this week, Plariums came out and told us that we're going to have a new fusion. We get to pick the skills, which is the first time we've ever done something like this, and it is big. But it has me a little concerned, right? And we'll get into that in just a minute here. I think it's good that they're doing this way. I may be wrong. I would definitely love to hear what the community has to say, what chat has to say about their feelings on picking the fusion. Is it the right idea? But before we get into that, I do have a content creator question for you. So this week, it's going to be a little weird, but I want to find out, what is your favorite smell? I know it's going to be a weird question, but I'm going to throw this at PJ first.
I'm so good at having favorites, so I'll give a few, but I gotta say fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. I really like pine trees, that Christmas wintry smell, and then probably because I'm a baseball player, freshly cut grass. Big fan of that as well.
Okay, I'm that chocolate chip cookies one just got me hungry right now.
Sorry.
All right. Mr. Gestal, what about you, brother? What is your favorite smell?
T-Bone just said it, brother. Bacon. Bacon. You smell that bacon, bro. There's nothing better. I love the smell of bacon. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. T-Bone, you took it from me, brother.
I guess if they made a bacon smelling deodorant, would you use it?
No, that would like ruin bacon. You know what I mean? That would
Might take a
ruin
bite out of it.
Ugh.
All right. Jay, what about you, sir?
Man, I had to think really long and hard about it because I was like, man, I love so many different smells, you know. But I was like, okay, let me be more of an adult about this. So, I would say it's very specific, but basically, if you have rice, mayonnaise, tuna fish, and potatoes all mixed up in a bowl, man, that just has me like out of this world, nirvana. Like it's crazy.
Did you just say rice, tuna fish, mayonnaise, and potatoes?
All mixed in a bowl.
Excuse me. All right, I'm back now. What the hell is that, Jay?
My grandma used to make it all the time, and I used to have problems eating food, and whenever I didn't want to eat, like, let's say macaronis or some other thing like Spanish related, I'm like, she would make that, and it would just get my appetite. I'm like, I gotta eat it, and then after that I would just be like, the next day I'd be like, all right, I want to eat again. Like it was weird, man. It's so delicious. It sounds bad, but when you eat it, it's such a great mix. It's so good.
I mean, I get tuna with like a little bit of celery, you know, like minced up celery and carrots on like a nice club sandwich or something. But damn, okay. We go from bacon to that. Mr. Ken, what about you, brother? What you got
I'm
for us?
sorry, bro. Like I forget the flower name. I just rushed to the other room to ask my mom. It's a lilac. I love this flower a lot.
Okay.
I don't know did I pronounce it correctly. We call that lilac, but
Lilac, yeah.
especially on these days, every street smells like that because everybody garden have that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like not that the only favorite thing. It's really hard to explain this question, but
Okay.
I like to say lilac for now.
Okay. All right.
I love the color as well. So.
Zero, what about you?
All right, so chat gets to find out something new about Zero Brew. I am a super smeller, and I did not know I was a super smeller. Smells can make me. It's. I can smell a gnat fart 3 miles away. Like I'm like a hawk or something with the smells.
Okay,
and
all right.
to the point.
So wait, you're more evolved than the rest of us?
Yeah.
Or
He's an
something.
extraterrestrial.
Something I don't know. I must have got it from my mama. I don't know because I think she was
Awesome, bro.
Yeah, so like I missed my calling as like a sommelier or some shit, right? But yeah, so much so that smells actually can make me nauseous, like physically ill. I can get a headache. I can get like where I want to throw up. And in fact, like here's a perfect example. So, and this happened last week, and I told my wife she stunk, and she got mad at me. But she has like a smell that I like, but she put it. It's like a cream, and she put it in her hair. But then we get in the car, and so I'm trapped in a small space with the fresh smelling, and I like the smell, but it's so pungent when she first puts it on that I literally get like nauseous. It's crazy. Okay. That being said, my favorite smell, and I actually called it a couple weeks ago here in Texas, but there is like it's almost like a sweet grass tree smell. I really smelled it. I'm from South Carolina originally, but also we had like a vacation home that our family used to go to in North Carolina, and you would travel up through like Flat Rock and Hendersonville, North Carolina, and up in the mountains, and there's this pasture smell, and I would roll down the windows, and it is the best smell ever. Okay. Again, probably I'm the only one that can smell it. I don't know, but yeah, it's like a sweet grass smell. It's not the fresh grass cut smell, but it's very similar.
Okay. All right. I do got to ask a question though. When you told your wife she smelled that, did she make you sleep on the couch?
No, but she went to church when we were going to Marriage Boost, and she told everybody I said that, and everybody made fun of me, and I was in the doghouse. So, and then I had to explain it to them. Like nobody, like it's hard to explain. Like it's like she knows this about me. Like, you know what? Put it on 30 minutes before we get in the car, and then we're good. Like it's the wildest thing. I didn't even know it was a thing, and I was like, y'all don't smell. You don't smell that? And people are like, no, we don't smell that. A gnat farted 3 miles down the road and you can smell it? Really?
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
You know, just food for thought here. Next time your wife has a smell that you don't agree with, just say,
hey, love, why don't we try this perfume today? I really love that smell on you, or something else instead of telling her she smells bad, because I can tell you, somebody that's been married for 20 years, or that's been with my wife for 20 years, married for 13? Don't put me on the spot. You know, I know a little better than that.
See, what's crazy is it's an approved smell, right?
Okay.
It's just it's crazy.
It was too strong. Okay. It's not that she stank.
Yeah.
It was too potent.
Smelled bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
And she probably put like a drop on. Like to be fair, like that's just how pungent or whatever it is to my nose.
Okay. Okay. All right. So my smell is actually a little bit interesting. I like the smell of a campfire, like the wood smelling, like a pine, that kind of smell. Like it's really calming, and it's just like I can smell like when my neighbors do, because we live in New Hampshire, so we're allowed to have fires in our backyards and stuff like that. And I can smell it, and it's always like I just love hanging outside with like a nice cold beer, smelling that. It's really actually kind of like calming for me. So, all right. We got Daffodil in the chat here. Shout out to Daffodil, another Knights of Teleria co-host, joined us last week. Was going to join us today, but she had to hop out last minute. Wasn't feeling well, or something came up. Not exactly. I don't want to say anything. But shout out to her. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. Make sure you guys follow her over on the Twitch. I do know she's got a YouTube channel, but she's not there posting it yet. So maybe we can change that. All right. So we get to pick this next fusion's skills. And man, oh man, I looked at the skills. We had the first three for the A3 pop out. And I looked at them and I was like, wow, this is going to go one of either three ways. And either way it goes, I think it's going to be good. Then we get the leak of all the skills. And then I looked at it and I was like, holy shit, there's only one way for us to go. But we do have Mr. Vault Keeper over here that is going to be our next fusion. Now, I think they might have gotten his name wrong, and the Vault Keeper should have been named on the new login champion, which we will touch up on that if we have time on the episode today. But I think she herself doesn't even deserve 10 minutes because she's just an epic in disguise.
That's being generous.
Yeah. But this guy, first of all, I mean, he looks cool, right? Love the aesthetics, love everything about him. But now we get the kit here, right? So let's start off with the A1. Let me find it here. Okay, here we go. A1, right? The damage part of it is attacks one enemy has a 25% chance of granting an extra turn. Who does this remind you of, guys? Rotos, right? Mm-hmm. Gets an extra turn. Now, the second part, right, if we go defensive, is going to be attacks one enemy. Each hit has a 40% chance of placing a provoke buff. If the target is a boss, it is 80%. We don't know if there's going to be books, so if it's going to be 100%, but I think 80% is still going to be pretty solid. I think the books in it might just be damaged, right? And then the support side is attacks one enemy. Each hit has a chance of placing a 15% poison buff for 2 turns.
That's old version, by the way. There's a typo there. It's not 15%, it's a 5%.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say that they did make sure to update that because there is no 15% poison. Because I looked at it first and I was like, wait, that seems a lot. 15% poison, that's...
Wait, that's actually solid, right?
Yeah, but it's actually a 5% poison. Now, looking at this, the A1, it is very, very strong. I'm a fan of all 3 skills. But it really, being able... And I feel like it was a good thing that we got the leak. That way we can see all of the skills. But... I'm going to start this off with Ken. Ken, what are your thoughts on these? Let's start from the damage one first. I guess we'll go through the damage one first and we'll go through everything else. But the damage one, what are your thoughts on it? Good, bad? Did you vote for it?
I mean, we cannot vote this yet.
Right.
So this is going to be started on the
vote for it, I guess.
I mean, bro, like I checked the other skill on the damage wise. I didn't like them. This is the one of the best damage wise skill, to be honest. But because rest of his skills doesn't looking good, I didn't vote for the damage. I vote for the defense actually.
Okay.
I feel like defense is more like a little bit end game perspective. You know, he also have a decrease attack and the provoke actually very high chance. This A1 skill, so he can pretty much control the boss. Support 3 is more like, how to say that, mid game, early game, like dungeon clear, you know, stuff like that. Poison, which is we only using poison debuff on the dragon and the ice golem too, so on the normal version. And yeah, I feel like kind of like on the end game, you are not gonna use him anymore. But if you guys looking for, I mean, we are probably gonna mention that on the 8 skill, right? So I about to talk the revive, but yeah, I vote the defense, man.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I will vote the defense.
All right. Jay, what about you? The damage for it, was this going to be one that you voted on for? Was it good, bad? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, similar to what FinalKenpachi said. Like when you look at the rest of the damage ones, it's not like Rotos gets multiple extra turns, right? If you kill someone on the A3 and the A1, you know, I've had it happen where I just lose to one Rotos all the time, like either in Live Arena or Classic. Yeah, so it's just RNG. Like one time I provoked him, and from the provoked he got an extra turn, and then got another. I'm like, bro, and then I lost everyone. I was like, that's ridiculous. But it just his other skills in terms of the damage one it's not enough. If there was extra turns or something way more stronger, I would have probably say damage. But the defensive focus is just so strong, man. That's so really. We've seen in Live Arena how sleeps are coming back. You can perma sleep, perma stun people now as long as they're not using sheep. Like it's just so oppressive. Like even like low CC like sleep, right? You just can't play the game. Or stuns or things like that. So provoke, that sounds amazing for like Hydra, for any other PvE or PvP. And this has a pretty good chance too, especially if it's a boss. So it sounds like a Monster Hunter champion, right? Where it's like it's a boss, it gets more. And then the support one, I mean, everyone poisons, everyone burns nowadays. It's not that crazy. If it would have been multiple poisons on the A1, like maybe like 2 per hit, maybe you could get that's probably be like the most scaling poison champion in the game, right? But overall, I think defensive focus for a default skill is probably the best one so far, so I chose that one.
Okay. Gestal, what about you, my man?
Yeah, the damage focus is definitely interesting. A two-hitter with 25% chance extra turn. Is Rotos 20 or is it 25? That procs all the freaking time, man. Yeah. Two-hitter would be pretty insane. The Rotos is a one-hitter. So that would be pretty sick. If this was all we knew to start, I'm glad they started with the A3, honestly. And obviously, how it got leaked, blah blah blah. It's probably a good thing it got leaked, frankly. But sometimes it's good. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people probably would have gone damage focus. It's kind of the sexiest of the three, in my opinion. But knowing what we know, I think you got to go defense because it just seems to be the way to go. So, if this is all we knew and if this is how we started, I like the damage one the best.
Okay. You like if this is how we started, the damage one is the one you would get.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. Glad they didn't. But that's the sexiest of the three. I mean, Provoke's nice, and it's certainly great into Hydra, but it's a one-hitter, so then you got to target. It's not a manual run.
Well, the Provoke is one enemy 2 times.
Huh?
The Provoke one, the defense focus one, is one enemy 2 times. They're all double hitters.
No, I know, but it's not an AoE, right? So you're gonna have if you're running this on Hydra, you're gonna have to manual it, or not manual it, but you're at least gonna have to sit there and at least grab the head of the target. Yeah, so it's nice, but it's not sexy, man. Like I said, if this is all we knew, I think the damage focus is the best one. But I'm glad. Now we know what we know. I mean, I think everyone's leaning defense. I haven't heard anyone else say anything else.
Right.
In my streams and whatever else. So, I don't think spoilers alert here, but I mean, you kind of want to go defense because of the rest of the kit. But I think just looking at this, the defense focus is a good ability. It's not great.
Okay.
Last time I checked, by the way, defense was on the most voted skill.
Yeah,
on
it
the
was.
A3.
It was. So far, yes, that's kind of what I saw as well too. PJ, what about you, man?
Yeah, the A1 is good. The 2 hits, extra turn. I like the A2 definitely the most personally. The big thing is it's like each hit has a chance of provoking, which is really good, and it specifically says that because sometimes it would just be like the first hit. So each hit is huge, 80%, maybe booking up to more for Hydra is really nice. I think most people in Hydra are manualing or like clicking heads. I think rare people are full auto. So yeah, out of these 3, I really like the second skill the most.
Okay. All right. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, so I mean the leak changed things, right? So the only thing, the way they did this was they didn't really give us like multipliers and stuff. So I think the community was probably a little hesitant to pick damage right out the rip, right? At least that's how I felt about it. It's like, cool, we could pick damage, but if he hits like toilet water, then nobody wants that, right? And so, and then of course they enticed us with the new ability that's in like getting introduced
the skill
to the game.
in the A3, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like while it's cool that they did this, I feel like they stacked the deck to have it kind of go one way.
Okay.
I guess the community does have the chance to change things, right? You can still go with the default skill, or excuse me, the first one up, and then if you wanted to go to the damage one, go with that one. I think for consistency's sake, I would say go all in on defense, because those weird hybrid champions that, where you can't stack 2 or 3 stats and you have to like spread it across 4 or 5 stats, or pick one way or the other, like all accuracy or all attack or whatever. Like Sun Wukong, for example. Yeah, I think the community should probably just stick with the defense if that's the route it's going.
Okay.
That's a different perspective. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. So, when I first looked at this, I said, all right, cool. So the A3, since was the first one they showed us, it said that it's going to ignore some stone skin. And it had me a little concerned because I was like, well, we don't really know much. We don't know multipliers. We don't know affinity, right? Which affinity plays a big issue. If it's magic affinity, because Plarium has a very heavy heart towards magic affinity champions, then it'd be useless against UDK, right? So then we'd be voting for a fusion that honestly would be kind of crap. Like Duchess would be the only one we'd go up against, or Ancora. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much bench my Duchess, right? Ancora took the #1 spot. But looking at it, I was like, all right, the A1 was the damage focus is definitely a solid part of the 25% extra return. But what I really liked was the defense focus part. The support part really has me kind of excited that maybe we can use this on a different champion to be like a solo farmer for a lot of this stuff, because I'm a huge proponent to farm a lot of these dungeons with a solo farmer, and it looks like if we just want pure support, which to your point, Zero, we could essentially say for this one we want the A1, we want him to ignore Stone Skin, and then a second ability we want to go for the defense, and then the third one we want to go for support. So there is a lot of things that we could change, but ideally, I think being uniform, I think is going to make it a better choice. Chad, I am quite curious to see which one you guys would vote for on the A1 here. Would you go the damage, defense, or support?
So let me throw this just random thought I just had, because Podrick provides a buff to each of the different categories. What if this dude ended up with one of each of these categories? What would they classify him as?
I think that would be based on whatever his defense is, or not his defense, but his base stat. And so depending on what the A3 would be, because that seems to be more of the leading factor, is what he would get. So he would either get the increased attack, the increased defense, or the increased accuracy, right?
Okay.
But that's actually a very good question right there to answer there. That was actually pretty solid. I didn't even think about that, to be quite honest. But
I'm actually curious, like what we vote, like for example, A3 skill support,
yeah,
A2 skill defense, and A1 skill damage. Like is gonna be attack, support,
That's what Zero
and
just
defense
said.
champion together, all together. Like
yeah. So I think
I don't know how Pillar'im gonna be figure out that.
Well, I mean, we know, and Jay has been a big person that's been pushing this, that they've done a lot of these double hybrid, right? They had the HP and attack side of a lot of the champions. They haven't released those in a lot of fusions lately, but I do feel like, it might be something they played with. I think what would happen is if they chose anything more, and again, this is just pure speculation at this point, but if they chose anything more than one category, he would either be a attack or defense. Now, again, I think that would really depend on what we pick for the A3, because once we break that skill down, each one is going to provide us with something that he needs to have, right? Would it make sense to pick the A3 as it gives you increased defense, but make him an attack-based nuker, right? But overall, I think, go ahead.
One more question.
Shoot it.
Because you guys are professionals and I'm not. Is it definitively explained if an ally attack, again, thinking Podrick, but for example, if his A1 here is the 25% to grant an extra turn, does that not ever get triggered on a ally attack situation?
I don't believe it does. No, the extra turns do not get tracked because Votos doesn't do it either, right?
No, I never said Votos get an extra attack from that.
So you don't get the extra turns. Like if they did Relentless or something like that as well. If they were
the cooldown reset is
broken
too. Like pod rate whenever he joined the attack or the Ankara, it's working.
Okay.
I just think it's really unfair to have a damage dealer without knowing his multiplier. Like,
bro, I know, right?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what gets us a lot of it is do we know exactly what the multipliers are going to be? And again, I guess even with the multipliers, eventually if the community is disappointed with something, we do know that Plarium does take some feedback. It might take them 6 months to a year to buff a particular champion, Fortis and Angar. But, they may go back and change the multipliers. I think the biggest issue would be the affinity.
Yeah.
Especially
UDK.
Right, because of with the current meta, and especially Armands, right? It's definitely affinity does matter quite a bit. All right, so let's see here. I did ask chat to let us know what their thoughts were on this, and let's see, is the poll done? I just ran a quick poll. View results. So most people are going to be voting for the defense. It looks like 63% is voting for the defense, 25% is voting for the support one on the A1, and it looks like 13% is voting for the damage. Okay, I think that's a fair comparison on what the community feels, because again, even just looking at what the community's voted for the A3, and I've had conversations with a lot of the guys because I've been hanging out in the Discord with the guys from Storm Gaming, and we kind of broke all this down, and I made everybody was like, well, the A1 definitely seems good, especially if he's going to ignore defense on the A3 and all this, and I was like, it's got to be the defense force. And let me ask you guys, do you think Plarium knew from the get-go that the community was going to band more behind the defense focus one than any of the other ones? Ken?
I mean, first of all, Plarium need to be they need to share with us the multiplier. It has to be on the in-game build. Like, we need to see the multiplier of the champion, because it's so unfair to throw the DPS champion like that, hey guys, vote him. Nobody gonna vote him without knowing the multiplier. So I don't know they aware of that, so they probably don't think anybody gonna vote to damage focus. So yeah, I think defense focus, like if they play the game a little bit, they should know it is the best one.
Okay. Jay, what about you? Do you think Plarium knew in advance that we were going to vote on the defense?
Yeah, because damage, like once again, we don't know the multipliers, and unless it's like the third, A3 skill ignored everything, like every single buff, then people would have went straight for that, right? But the defense one, it looks solid. It's a solid skill, and then the support one we already have AoE revivers, like stuff like that. So it's like it would be nice to have another one, but do you really need another one? So it's like I think that's what people were looking for. But now you see the default skill is really like being provokes doubles. That's pretty nice. Helps people out. I know a lot of people still need help in Hydra, so.
Okay. Jay, I'm just getting a little bit of feedback from your microphone. I don't know what's going on. It's picking up something else. I don't know if that's something you can. Is that a fan that you got in the background?
Yeah, it might have been a fan.
All right. Gestal, what about you, brother?
Sorry, man. What was the question again?
Do you think Plarium knew in advance that we were going to vote mostly on the defensive one?
Sorry, man. Yeah, I got lost in chat. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the conspiracy that they're kind of leading us towards the defense. I mean, they put the sexiest. They put the new buff, the new buff in the A3, and that's the first thing they announced. The other two were Matt. Poison right now, like, come on, who's gonna pick Poison? Now, if the support focus, like, say this was before hard modes came out and everything was Poison in dungeons, maybe that would be something to look at. And then the ignore stone skin is nice, but man, we've got an ignore stone skin who doesn't ignore defense, and his name is Alil, and he sucks. Well, not that he sucks, he's good, but he's not like a damage dealer. So
didn't the Monster Hunter one also ignore stone skin? What's his name?
He does.
Fatalis. Yeah.
Fatalis, yeah.
Blade Master.
Face shittiness. Sorry, I forgot his name. Face shittiness.
I actually use him.
He's not bad. He's actually good into like Taurus and Narcissus for real, because they can't crit him with that stupid shield on.
I still haven't built mine yet. It's not
that great,
but
he's not a bad counter. Yeah, it's not a bad counter.
Okay.
Yeah.
PJ, what about you? Do you think they knew?
Yeah, I feel like they definitely are trying to lead us towards, or like obviously they can't have us. They don't know what we're gonna pick, but dropping the A3 with the new intercept, like definitely they're like, hey, look at this! Like this is new, fancy. I think they definitely kind of wanted us to go down the defensive, because they made them seem like they're a little bit better than all the other skills as well.
Okay. Zero.
Yeah. So I think first of all, kudos to Plarium for doing this. Right, like this is something new. They're stepping outside the box. I think it's kind of cool that the community gets to participate in something. And I do think if they do something like this in the future, and we've talked about it, for the last 10 minutes or so, is like if you're going to offer a damage thing, you might need to add the multipliers in there. I know we talked about affinities too, but I think because here's what it boils down to: like most of us are, all the community that plays this game are pretty darn smart, and if this dude isn't hitting harder than your Rhodoses, whatever, your top 10 in arena. If this dude's not going to hit any harder than them, then he's going to be an Alil and he's going to be a vault, in the vault or whatever. And so I think people were like, okay, well, we don't have a clue what he's going to do. So why would we vote in something that we're just going to throw in the vault? However, and everybody's been saying it, like intercept too. And I think with defense champions, if they hit hard, that's like a bonus, but they're not necessarily there to be like super duper smacky. I know Harimas and whatever, but I think like you can at least look at the defense base and say, this isn't going to be a Harima, but we get this cool extra skill and it doesn't matter what the multipliers are. However, if we win damage and the multipliers are crap, then we'll never use a champion. So I think people were kind of voting on, and there's a lot of poisoners in the game. I think Gestal made some good points about hard dungeons and things like that too. So I think people are also going, okay, so poison, not necessarily so much either. So I think just the way they did this and the skills that they picked, by default, the community is just going to hone in on defense because that's the safest and sexiest pick versus the other.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
I agree. I think they knew in advance we were going to go defense, and that's why they started out with the A3 first. And I have a little bit of a conspiracy theory, guys, that they released Armands before this guy, just because I think this fusion, and we'll touch base on that in just a minute here, is going to be way more difficult than we expect it to be. So,
let me pose a quick question for you.
Yep.
Do you guys think it would have felt any different instead of labeling them all red, green, blue, damage, defense, support? They just listed 1, 2, 3 and gave you the abilities, nothing else. Do you feel like that would have been less leading or the same?
I was just reading chat, and I think that would have been a little less leading, because I don't know. So part of doing YouTube, I look a lot into like visuals and all this stuff, and the one thing every eye is attracted to is light colors: green, yellow, light blues. And so that's what most people are focused with. So that's going to be the first one that they
green
look
go,
at.
red stop.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So if this was like, if this was like a yellow, I think that would be the more catchier one that people see. But I do think that is something that could have played into part. What do you guys think? Zero?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great conspiracy theory. Yeah. Red light, yellow light, green light. Yeah, I think. I mean, subconsciously, right? Like, those of y'all that drive, green is go, right? So that's a weird. It's like the McDonald's conspiracy theory where the colors are yellows and reds and stuff, and it gets you really excited to get you in the restaurant and eat their silly little happy meals or whatever.
That is actually true. That is actually true.
Yeah, I think, but to go back to the original thing that was just said, I think, it would have been a little bit less leading if they just said, here are the 3 skills or whatever. I will say, though, I don't know about y'all, but when I read a character, I instantly go to the A3. I feel like the A3 is like the sexier the skill. It kind of helps.
I like the
mechanic.
passive first.
Well, I do passive.
Then A3.
Yeah,
I go backwards.
A3. I go backwards as well. Yeah, that's how I do it. So I'm kind of glad they went with the A3 first on this one. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, I go passive and then instantly go to the A3 and say, okay, this is what's, everything else is going to kind of synergize around. Like just looking at the A1, you don't necessarily get that almost champions. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Very leading.
Okay. Chat, I am reading some of these questions, and I don't want to jump too far into the skill kits, but we will be answering a lot of these when we get to that particular skill set. But PJ, what about you? Do you think if they had just numbered it 1, 2, 3, it would have been different? You would have felt different?
Not really. It's also the affinity colors as well. I don't know if that's anything to do with that. I saw someone in chat mentioned that earlier.
That's true.
That could actually force, spirit, and magic.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That actually
so if he's spirit, that'd be good.
I think Nobo said that earlier.
Yeah. That actually would not. That makes sense.
So no void then. What if we pick like a red, green, and blue? He's become a
purple void. Everything unlocked.
Wait, are they becoming purple?
Easter egg.
That would be like what was it called? Captain Planet. You put red, blue, green, and you make it to void. My power's gone. All right. Jay, what about you, man? Do you think it would have been a little different if we just got numbers instead of colors?
Definitely, 100%.
Okay. What do you think would have changed if it was numbered wise?
Probably. I mean, I don't know what they would choose.
Would you have voted differently as opposed to the defense part if it was numbered wise?
No, me personally, no. Unless I saw multis, but I still choose the defense no matter if there was colors or not.
Okay. Gestal?
Well, yeah, I think I'd still just go with what I felt was the best ability, and I still think that's the defense one. I just threw that out there because people were saying it's leading. I honestly don't think it was leading at all. I think it was leading in the fact that it was by far the superior choice, I guess, and maybe that's why they feel that. I don't know.
Okay. Ken, what about you?
I mean, if people voting by the color, I think they don't care about him or they don't care about the rate that much. I will still read the skill, analyze him, and after that I vote it. I also don't eat McDonald's, Popeyes, by the way.
Okay. I think overall, the A1, whichever way we went, would have been decent, would have been good. My next question in content creator chat right now is going to be: does the affinity mean that we are seeing what's happening here? Like, is it going to be a magic if we go support or damage if
it's also the mastery colors. I don't know.
Yeah, that is definitely true. So that is a lot to unpack right there. I think we could spend a whole episode of the Knights of Teleria just talking about the conspiracy theory of what player.
I guess my concern though is like if you went damage, would the multipliers have been higher, or since we're potentially going defense and he'd be a defensive champ, or does that mean his multipliers are gonna not be as good and he's just gonna be way more of like a support defensive champ instead of a damage defensive champ?
Possibly. I don't know. That is going to be very interesting. Very, we definitely are going to have some time to wait and see what everything happens out. But I guess it is fun to use some conspiracy theories here about what's going on. Right. All right. So real quick, shout out to Odd One Gaming, who just joined us in the chat, guys.
What up, Odd One?
Odd One, welcome to the stream, boss. Guys, Odd One's actually a dad to be very soon, who is also married. Who's also married to the very lovely content creator known as anybody?
Ivy League Gaming.
Okay. I'm just testing to see if you guys actually know the gossip going on here, you know?
I shut the door last week.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Ivy Lee as well, too. Much love to both of you guys. And we can't wait to see what the supreme OP passive is going to be for the little one. I know so far we haven't seen what the passive is going to be for Yanks, but...
Oh, it was yesterday.
Yeah. That was last week. He had his baby.
Congrats, bro. I didn't know that. That's amazing,
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think... Can I share the pictures, Odd One, in chat? I just saw the pictures.
Baby girl, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Congratulations. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Look at
awesome,
that right
brother.
there. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations both to you and Ivy.
I love it.
I'm so happy for you guys right now. Enjoy every single second, because before you know it, that little thing is gonna walk up and say, "Dad, you snore. Go away." My 7-year-old just said that to me this morning. Right?
Buy me more shards.
That's the second thing.
And I would definitely love to see what the passive skill for her is going to be. I know, like I said, Scratches is kill him with the looks, and every time, like, he just one-shots anybody that steps up. So, again, congratulations.
Yeah, and if you like sleep, good luck getting it ever again.
The first 3 months are difficult. I can tell you myself, I was always the night dad. After the first 3 months, I was the one that got up for the bottles, changed diapers, everything. And it still happens. When they have a nightmare right now, I'm still the one that gets up. So I guess that never falls away. All right, let's jump into the A2 here. Let me get this up. That's the A3. That is, the A2 is right here. All right, so the A2, this is actually pretty strong. AoE on all abilities, but we have damage focus is going to be attacks all enemies before attacking, places a 50% increase attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. The damage inflicted with this skill increases by 5% for each buff on the target. And if there is no buffs on the target, we'll ignore 25% of the target's defense instead. All right, so we're starting to see a lot of these Helm Smashers, Savage kind of built into the skill kits, right? The defense one is attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance, most likely going to book up to 100, of placing a 50% decrease attack for 2 turns. Also increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. So Godseeker and Neri right there. Then increases the value of all shield buffs on all allies. The value of each shield is increased proportional to the total number of buffs which had their duration increased. All right, so my first thought when I saw this was, I'm going to pair this guy with Electrion, right? And then the support one is attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 25% poison sensitivity for 2 turns, then instantly activates any position, any poisons, debuffs on all enemies, and heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. All overall very strong, very powerful. Each one would be, I think the damage focused one, my suggestion would be, is more arena focused than anything else. The defense one definitely seems like Hydra, Clan Boss, right? Being able to extend the buffs, which is always one of the bigger things to be able to try to get like the mythic comps and stuff like that. And then the support one was definitely strong for, again, a lot of the solo stuff going on. And Hydra as well, not Hydra, but Clan Boss as well. But let's hit it off. I'm going to start with Zero on this one. Zero, what are your thoughts on it, man?
All right, so you know how they stack this mofo? I'm keeping it clean.
Okay.
You know how they stack this mofo? Is because we do understand, especially if you ever use an arena, how important it is to self-buff yourself. And when they gave us the A3 first and saw the increased defense, right? And then, of course, they leaked all of this. But then it's like, okay, well, if this is going to be the third one we're voting on, nobody's going to, pick the A2, or excuse me, the damage focused one that brings the increased attack there too.
Okay.
So that's another way to kind of see how they stack it. Honestly, the support one is because you're not increasing the duration of poisons.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're instantly activating. I get that. It's kind of, get the Nariel feel, but I feel like, TO brings a lot more to the table on this one. And I love my poisoners with my different poison teams that I do. But yeah, now that we've already kind of been led down the route of defense, it's a no-brainer to go defense on this one, in my opinion. And plus, you're helping with the decrease attack, and then you're increasing buffs. And I'm already thinking Taras, right? So if you can get a good spread of buffs on them and you increase the duration, it just means he's going to do more damage later. Now that I've had him for 2 weeks.
Okay.
But
all right.
Yeah.
So you're still going with defense. Nothing's changed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. Where do you envision this skill being used on most?
Yeah, I think Hydra would be fine too, like people have suggested. But I think this has just got so much baked into the kit. You could use it anywhere. Again, I'm already thinking, and maybe because I'm like Gestal, love playing the live arena. Well, I hate the time it takes, but besides that, I like competing against other people and stuff. So a decreasing attack, you've already got the increase. You're increasing duration of buffs. You're increasing shields. The value of the shield gets bigger depending on how much you spread out. So, and you're attacking all. Yeah, I like that all the way. I'd use it in arena. Depending if it synergizes with the other champs, right? If you can build a good team off. That's always the hard part.
All right. Let's go with PJ. What about you?
Yeah, so the damage focus A2 is very, very, very similar to Falman Mornsword's A2. I'm not sure if you guys noticed that or not. Which is just interesting to me because I read it when I first read it. I was like, I've seen this before, and then I looked at it. It's very, very, very similar. But it's just hard. Once you start going down the defensive tree, you're not going to switch to the damage focus after. So I do like the damage focused, or the defense one a lot too. Getting that shield on the amount of buffs, decrease attack, definitely could use this in Hydra, especially with the he gets a. I think he can become a mischief tank too. He gives himself counter attack in one of his either like his passive or his A3, I think. So you can make him a mischief tank. I'm getting ahead of myself, but yeah, no. I like the defense. I like the damage focus, but like you're not gonna go defense and then into the damage. So definitely keep it with the defense focused route.
Okay. All right.
And then the support, I don't even like. Poisons right now are just
now
whatever.
Now, PJ, I'm gonna pose a special question to you. Now we know your colors are green. Did this have anything to influence your decision?
No, never. No. Strictly based off of the text.
Okay. Let me know what you guys think. I think because it was green, he just automatically picked it.
Never.
Jay, what about you, brother? What do you think?
So when I saw the damage one, I was like, oh, this is looking pretty good. Because it's before attacking, you get the increased attack, so you get more damage. Then he gets more damage based on buffs. A lot of people are buffing nowadays. But then that last part, it's like if they have no buffs, then he ignores defense. And I'm like, first you're giving them more damage if they have buffs, and then like, okay, you get to ignore if they don't. It's nice you could get something either way, but man, not losing that ignore defense is a very important like part to usually damage champions. So I was like, man, that's sad, So I was pretty sad about that. So I instantly was like, okay, not that one. Then I went to defense, and I was like, wait a minute, that's pretty good synergy. Defensive champion is going to give himself increased defense. Then he also has decreased attack, increasing the duration of buffs as well. So that'll be the other buff that he puts on the A3. But then increase the value of shields. We've seen that before, and we've seen how powerful that can be with Brogni and other things. So I thought, wait, but this is not based on like the shield strength. This is based on buffs. So now you can start creating huge big buff comps. So I was like, man, that's really going to be good. That might even be better. That people already speculating it might be better than previously in terms of shields. So yeah, I saw that, instantly had to go with it. And the A3, I was like, okay, it doesn't bring an extra poison. It doesn't increase the duration of the poison. Nothing. It's just sensitivity and then procs. It does heal. People don't forget the last part that it does AoE heal, which is nice. But I think it's an interesting A3, but it does not beat the defensive, so I went with defense focus.
Okay, so I just want to say here, the A3 isn't that bad. If you guys are looking towards like dungeon comps for Dragon and some of the Ice Golem comps, the poison sensitivity and then activating him and poison exploding him is actually not that bad, right? Especially if you have like a Calvalox or a Taurus. A lot of people don't have Theodore. And so that's kind of what that reminded me of looking at it. I was like, okay, so this still could be useful for that. It's not that it wouldn't be useful for anything else. But Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, the conditional on the one or on the damage focus on the top one is horrible. The not a guaranteed chance of ignoring defense, like Jay said. It tossed that one right out. On top of the A3, not ignoring defense through the stone skin. I feel like those were easy throwaways. I'm calling them A1, A2, A3.
I'm doing the same thing because I'm looking. I've been trained for so long. Always going A1, A2, A3.
I'm used to doing it. The support focus, like you guys have all said, it's not as good as like ones that are out there. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure like he has a chance on the A1 putting up poisons, but like his main source of poisoning is when you're reviving champs. So that doesn't really make this much better anyway. So I think by far the easy pick for what everybody's said before, and I really like what Jay said about. Like buff teams, think about how many buffs you have on your Hydra. You have 6 champions in Hydra. I mean, I have some comps where I'm easily at 8, 9, 10 buffs apiece. So that shield's gonna be your whole freaking bar, man. We'll see, but that shield could get pretty crazy. That could be like a Brogni Colbert Cadaver situation,
right? But and that's, I think. If Corpulent Cadaver was still relevant, this would be something a lot of people would be complaining right now.
Shield's protection, man. Shield's protection are so strong.
I agree with you. It definitely is, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. Because when I'm seeing this, it's like protected buffs are going to come in, and as long as you have him, I'm guessing that this is going to be 100% chance of placing the decrease attack, right? And then it's probably going to be booked down to either a 3 or 4 turn cooldown. If I was a betting person, I'm going for a 3 turn cooldown, which would make it really insane. Along with, like I said, a Latreon, which was one of the, the Monster Hunter 1 events that we had. Between those two, you're going to get a shield. It's never going to fall off. You're never going to have to bring a support champion. You put him and a Latreon in and just a whole bunch of nukers, and, you've got your 1 key Hydra damage done, if not something more stupid. But yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah, that was essentially my point. I think, I don't know. It's way better than the other two. So easy pick on the defense.
Okay. Ken, what about you, brother?
Like you mentioned earlier, not everybody have a Theodore. The first time I see him, or maybe he's going to be like a Theodore, maybe I should vote to the support tree. He's actually, I believe, first champion can cast poison sensitive AoE, if I'm not mistaken. I believe
there's
he
other
does.
ones that do it. Corvus does it. And,
oh yeah? Oh, my bad then. Okay. To be honest, I like the supporter. I really wish it's also plays a poison as well, on that one. I know that he's revive doing that, but that's kind of weird too, because if it is AoE revive, there is no way it's gonna be 3 turn cooldown, guys. So it's probably like minimum 4 turn cooldown after we book it. So kind of weak because of that. Defense 3, decrease attack is one of the debuff you guys needed. Unless you have a very tanky Hydra team, obviously. Shield is cool, can protect you. Damage ability is not that cool, but like I mentioned earlier, actually, if people watch my Narcissus video, like the first time we see him, I said like I like Ankara better because she's support character. We saw the skill, there you go, right? Everything is clear. And I said like Narcissus, guys, like I'm gonna wait to see some tier 3 content creator video on the test server. Then after that, I'm gonna judge him. In the skill wise, he's looking cool, but it's hard to judge the champion without knowing their multiplier. And again, it's the same scenario. But even like, he has to be crazy multiplier too. Then I will vote for the damage focus, to be honest. My vote is gonna be defense focus, man.
Okay. Defense focus on that one too. All right. So far it seems everybody's pretty much on board with the same one. Let me just go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I had two synergy comments I was gonna make on this too.
Go for it.
So 2 things. So I know we talked about him earlier, but phallic blade master because his sword is big. Comic jokes chat. So if you read his passive, it's his shield specifically that gives him the protection. So I like that this dude can increase the value of the shield. So you would be increasing Phallic's shield and making it bigger. But that would help protect him from getting crit essentially, and a bigger shield, especially in like a double hitter, multi-hitter champion. Because I have had it where the first one doesn't crit, but it's enough to take out the shield, and then the next one crits and he's dead anyway. So that's pretty cool. But then the other thing too, and I've tested this on my double Akatum team, and again, I'm not the expert of this, so I'm not 100% sure. But when you explode poisons, it just depends. So like TO activates Akatum's passives, and I know an Ariel, for example, does not. Now it does say activate any poisons. And so maybe that's just the one tick versus exploding all of them. So that one would synergize with the Akatum, it looks like.
Okay.
So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I think overall, like the defense, the attack based one, and again, maybe I'm just being a little biased because I have some of the best nukers in the game. But it was very, very underwhelming. I didn't see it, because it's just arena focused, right? I could not, if it was, especially now that we have Armands in the game, I don't think arena is enjoyable as it was, right? I've actually, think it's pretty toxic at this point. But I think the defense and the support are definitely one of the 2 better ones. And again, if this was overall stretching far, because I've been doing the $10 whale series, right? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, which one is going to be better early all the way up to the end game? And the defense one is definitely going to be the one that outshines everything else, right? The increasing buff durations, the decreased attack on AoE, It's just, I think overall, one of the better ones that we could have picked. So community-wise here, let me take a look at the poll, and it looks like most people are going, 80% is going for the defense, 20% is going for the damage, and 0 is going for the support. So that says a lot right there.
I feel like the support needed to place poisons in with this move.
I think you're right. I think if the support did something a little bit extra, maybe like a turn meter booster, or provided like a buff or something, or, you know, like you just said, adding the poisons on, I think that would have been better, but that would have been completely copying the A2 of what's his name? Theodore, yeah. So
it's a good A2.
It is.
Yeah, not a bad
It is. But then what's the purpose of them putting out a 10x for Theodore?
I mean, did you look at the Feldman A2? The Feldman A2 and this A2 is almost the same. Besides the increased attack, Feldman's A2 is pretty much the same as the damage focus A2.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, they're down with copying other people's skills.
Well, yeah. I mean, they can. We could only do so much.
Yeah.
But I think overall, the A2 here, or not the A2, but the defense one. God, I gotta stop saying it because I made the comment in the video, the A2, and my editor was like, "What A2 are you talking about? It's A3. It's the only one." I'm like, yeah.
Green for go.
Blue, green, red. That's what we're gonna go with now. But yeah, I do actually want to say something here. Nobo says he thinks Jay is missing out on a good damage dealer, possibly. Nobo, do you know that Jay was one of the only people that made a damage dealing Great Hoof Loriaka? Yeah.
And I also use Vlad competitively.
So
Who's that?
if there is a champion that could be that could have decent multipliers, Jay is going to test them out as a nuker. But all right, let me give some shout outs here because we've got Mr. Pogo Pink Tie in the chat. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Pogo is another raid Twitch streamer. Make sure you guys go follow him over there. He's also another fellow UPSer out there in lovely Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles.
And then let me give some shout outs here. We got Sacrifician. Thank you very much for the follow. Admin Quinn, thank you very much for the follow. Odd One, thank you again very much for the follow, sir. Grofen, thank you very much for the follow. Guys, if I'm mispronouncing your names, I'm sorry. Dyslexia just completely suck. And then Pogo, thank you very much for the sub to the channel. So 2 months. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
We got a question for JR.
Okay, what do we got? We got a question for JR.
From Red.
How did DPS Loriaka perform? Jay?
Not that good, unfortunately. Plarium doesn't know how to do their multipliers for support champions.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
Thanks.
What do I owe you?
Jump back.
Actually, bringing that up, guys. We
segueing into
that was not planned, but we do have a sponsor on the channel. You will see the link in the chat floating around. Raid Shadow Legends is sponsoring us for another 5 more days. If you complete normal campaign, get all the way up to 12-7, clear it 3 stars, and open up 2 void shards, level 25, I will give you a monthly gem pack for free. And then if you decide to go all the way and open up an extra 20 ancients and 2 sacreds, you could get an account takeover, or because we're 5 days and I'm trying to max this out, a forge pass. Something to think about. I'll let you guys pick. But if you have any other questions, feel free to DM me in Discord and we can talk more about it. I think we have at this point like 15 or 20 left to be done out of the 50, so we're doing pretty good. Now, let's thank you very much for the segue there, Mr. PJ.
Of course.
All right, let's go into the A3, which was the first skill that we had that was given to us. the damage focus one. Attacks one enemy, will ignore Stone Skin. If this attack kills an ally, fills the champion's turn meter by 50%. This, on paper, looks great. Arena focus. But the number one thing that I saw and that worried me was I didn't really care about the multipliers, but I felt like if it was bad affinity to UDK, because let's face it, UDK is the only one we really kind of worry about Stone Skin. He takes the priority of the Stone Skin gear on the account, and then maybe like Ancora or something else. But that was my biggest thing, was the affinity-wise, what was it going to be? Because if it was Magic, it really wouldn't help us out. And again, Plarium favors Magic. That's why we start off with all Magic Affinity champions in Raid. The defense one, I looked at this, and then it says, places 2 intercept stacks. Now, the 2 intercept stacks on a target ally, some of us might think that it's not big, but even if we were to use this guy in Arena, you place the Arena, you place him really fast, right? He places the 2 intercepts, let's say on your Duchess or whatever. Armand's is automatically shut down right there, right? He cannot sheep, he cannot do anything. So I do think that this could be pretty strong, right? And then also places a 60% increased defense buff and a shield on all allies for 2 turns, then the value of the shield is proportional to this champion's defense. That right there made me think of Valkyrie, right? Because she gets the counterattack with the shield. So if it's anything like a Valkyrie-sized shield, I feel like this right now would be the best skill that we could possibly be getting, just because it's going to be versatile in Arena, Hydra, Clan Boss. Now imagine Clan Boss being able to use that intercept buff and kind of guide it on whoever is going to take that stun, right? Changes things. A lot of us for Clan Boss could actually be that little bit of oomph that we need to progress into from a Nightmare to an Ultra Nightmare team. So I think overall the defense focus part is definitely one of the better ones, but the support one, which is actually one that I think we desperately need in the community. We need more AoE revivers because we don't have enough. The last one that we got was Ancora, that was a single target. But if you don't have Arbiter early on, you're not going to gain a lot. Is revives all dead allies with 50% turn meter and 50% HP. Places a 5% poison buff on all enemies for 2 turns. The number of poisons placed on each target is equal to the number of allies revived. Now, when I saw this originally, I was like, this is actually really good. And I thought about, I could just use him as a solo farmer. Stage 20 dungeons, right? For a lot of us, most of us here are farming hard mode dungeons. But there's a majority of the community out there that's going to come in that's still sitting at stage 15, 20, 25. So something like this could really be helpful to kind of, again, give them that little bit of oomph to help them progress their account, right? Making things a little easier for fusions and whatnot down the line. But I did like this because every time he uses this, he's going to place the extra amount of poisons, which means if you're bringing in 4 champs, right? 5 poison, it gives them 2 poisons or 1 poison for each champion he brings up. So you put out an extra 8 poisons. It's actually pretty strong taking down those waves, guys. So let's pass this off. I'm going to start with PJ first. PJ, thoughts on this, and which one did you vote for?
Okay, we'll just go down the list, I guess. Damage focus, yeah. Again, the multipliers and the affinity. I think the affinity, like you keep bringing up, is we can't talk about it enough. I've even been noticing this with Star Sage. I have Star Sage Galather, like one of the best arena champions, and
Grape Kale.
He weak, yeah, Grape Kale. He weak hits all the time, and it's super frustrating. So yeah, having him weak hit UDK would just pretty much defeat the whole purpose of that move. I voted for the A2. Intercept looks really cool. Increased defense, shield based off of the defense. And then the A3, I don't know, I just really don't like that you have to revive to place the poisons. It's very, I mean, it's kind of conditional. I mean, it's conditional. They obviously have to be dead, but yeah, I just wish they would have worked that in a little bit differently, either in his A2 somehow or made it so maybe I don't know, they didn't have to revive. They could do it either way, but then people don't like that where like they waste the revive just for the poisons. Yeah, so not really a big fan of the A3, the A3, the third support focus. But yeah, I think the defensive focus, the new intercept looks very interesting. The only issue or thing I have or problem I foresee is like an arena, live arena. They're gonna pick Armands. You're gonna take this champion, and then if you don't ban Armands and they just ban this dude, you're screwed. So you're gonna end up banning Armands, and they're gonna end up banning him, and you're just have like you're gonna have your 4 people that you want to pick, and then he's gonna be an instant ban. I guess Armands is gonna be the other instant ban, and you'll go in with the other 4, unless you have like someone else that's really devastating to their team and they don't ban this dude. But I guess it's just a forced pick to our forced ban now, 2 forced bans in live.
Okay. Interesting thought. I didn't think about live arena in that matter. Zero, what about you, my man?
So, yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it at nauseum about the stone skin, and if he doesn't hit hard, or like you said, weak hit, it's just not even worth it. And then the fact that, I don't know, increases champions turn meter just doesn't seem sexy to me. as it is. And then of course we talked about intercept and how good that is, but I think the whole support A3, which funny enough is the second most picked one, but it's too hard to pull off. It's like those mechanics that are a little bit niche or hard to pull off. And I don't know about y'all, but we don't see the cooldowns here. And I think most revive all dead allies is minimum or maximum 4 turn cooldown. So like, even if you were to be like, okay, let me just take this dude with a bunch of food and use this mechanic, it's not going to be as fast as other mechanics, because if it's a 4 turn cooldown or something like that, I just don't think it's very feasible. And I get it, if it's the only champion you can get that has the poison mechanic, you got to do what you got to do with your account. But there are just so many other or better poisoners in the game. So I looked at it that way and just said, not going to pick him over the meta damage dealers if he doesn't hit hard. And A3 is worthless in my opinion. And then of course, intercept is the first new time to see this brand new skill, and it's just in time, like you said, conspiracy theory wise, for Armand. But then of course, bringing the self buff and the shields, it's a no brainer. It's kind of like you get 2 or 3 things in the first one, you get 1 to possibly a big thing, maybe some turn meter too, but also all revives come with turn meter, so you're not really getting anything in that. You get like 4 things in the defense, so it's like, I don't know, it's no brainer.
Okay. Jay, talk to me.
So the A1, it's just attack once. It does ignore stone skin, but you're not ignoring defense once again. That's pretty sad. And then the whole last part, it's an A3. Why don't I just get guaranteed boosted turn meter? I have to then have another condition of killing the target to then get turn meter? The A1 once again, it's looking bad. So I definitely was like, no thanks. Defensive focus, I saw that. Man, I was like, intercept. I was like, wait, what is that? And then when you look at what we found out with this, that's pretty decent. But then when you look at the rest, right, increased defense, shield buff, the champion's just synergizing, right? With the A2, right, with the A1, everything's looking well. And then the shield is proportional to his champion's defense, like you were saying, BLAZIN, like Valkyrie. Hopefully it's not going to be like UDK where the proportional defense is actually less than Valkyrie, way less. But as long as it's still there, I think it's still going to be nice, because he does get that increased defense while UDK doesn't give that, right? He gets continuous heals and shield, but if you get increased defense, then your value goes up higher, so the proportion will be better. So that's good synergy with that shield too. So that's an amazing skill right there. It's like a no-brainer. Now I looked at the support one and I thought, okay, maybe this is looking a little bit better, synergizing with the rest of the first 2. But once again, like the A1 wasn't AoE, so you're not getting AoE poisons here. The A2 doesn't really give poisons either there, so you gotta wait till they die. And it might sound good for solo strategies, but in arena, I feel like it's going to just get you sheeped, because you're going to put too many debuffs. And then with the A2, when you're using your presets, because you're not having poisons there, you have to wait for the chickens to all die. Then what if one chicken dies and your champion revives? At that point, you only get 1 or 2 poisons, and then the A2 doesn't put poisons, so that it's just going to take a long run. It's going to help a lot of people solo. I truly feel that way, that the champion will help. But it's not going to be optimal. I think there's going to be better soloers like Artak or Theodore. But overall, it's just defense, in my opinion. It's just no-brainer to go with that one.
Okay. Fair point with the support one where, the RNG and the revival, if you have stuff going on. Gestal, talk to me.
Yeah, not to, reiterate what everybody else has said here. Intercept is the new shiny object. As soon as you see that, you want to know what it is, you hear what it does. Sounds like a counter to sheep, at least.
Yep.
Bring it on. I don't care about anything else, man. See ya.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I should say what Intercept does, right? Because some of us, I'm sure most of us know, but some of us may not know that are just tuning in. But Intercept is basically Stone Skin 2.0. It's going to block any sort of debuff. There's no 50-50 chance or anything like that you will have to have. It's just every attempt tried will take a stack off, and you won't be able to increase the amount of intercept buffs you have, right? So you can't use an increased buff duration on somebody for it. So it's just basically, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, and you said any debuff, isn't it just like fear, sleep, stun, sheep?
Yeah.
And then just the control.
Any of the control ones. I do actually believe, I can check here in just a second while I pass on to the next person, but I'm 99% positive that the new intercept is going to be the intercept buff will block any attempt placed by crowd control debuffs on the champion. Okay, so yeah. So it's basically any crowd control. So the stuns, fear, sleep, true fears, all that stuff, which again, when I saw this, I said, Clan Boss, Armand's definitely going to be one of the ones that we want. Let's pass it off to the sexy man up top there, Mr. Ken. What about you?
First of all, A1 skill, that's a A3 skill. Like, probably 3 turn cooldown, maybe 4 turn cooldown. This is super weak, guys. Ignoring Stone Skin doesn't mean you are gonna one-shot them, you are gonna face the reaction. Like, this is how you can counter the Georgette. With the Ultimate Death Knight, he can still counter because everybody with reaction accessories on their Ultimate Death Knight, and if Georgette hit the reaction, most likely you cannot one-shot it. I know there is some crazy Georgette there, but some people also have crazy Ultimate Death Knight, so maybe you didn't face them yet. Anyway, super weak Ignore Stone Skin is not that great, but if this is also Ignore reaction at the same time, that will be cool actually. I would like to see that. So far, nothing is Ignore reaction. That's actually crazy. Plarium didn't do anything yet. Defense focus intercept buff actually interesting one. It's like a block debuff, but also working against the ship. So block debuff not gonna protect you against the ship, but intercept can protect you. The problem is unless this champion base speed is 200, nobody gonna make him faster than Armas. Like if you are faster than Armas, just kill the Armas. Don't intercept buff yourself, so it's like again like a increased resistance buff scenario here, so arena wise not sure going to be useful. It's more like Hydra, you can protect one of your champion to being getting fear or provoke or whatever, so shield is extra. So support, like Jay mentioned earlier, actually I didn't think that, but yes, his support risk can solo dungeon. Most likely normal dungeon, because on the hard dungeon only the dragon is weak against the poison, which is I don't think he can solo the dragon, hard dragon. Anyway, but if if one of your champion died earlier, he's gonna revive him, and he's gonna place less poison on the enemies. That's gonna be super RNG, and I don't think anybody gonna be try that, to be honest. Defense focus. I like to go defense focus again.
Okay.
But to be honest, like before we move in the passive, I will think and skip this fusion. I don't need it, to be honest. Is that too early?
What? What?
I mean, like, what I'm gonna do with this, man? I don't need Hydra help.
Guys, I'm just gonna resources. You are to go ham on Ken right now. Because he's already skipping the fusion by just looking at the kit. Nothing else, no affinity, no nothing. You deserve everything you're about to get.
That's funny.
All right.
Free to play life, man.
The other thing is though, soloing, usually you want that passive where you want your enemy or you want your allies dead to get that speed. So it's gonna be it's gonna be like Speed, no speed. Speed, no speed. Because it's going to be up, down, up,
Well,
down.
so actually, I have Sulfurion, and I use him to solo my stage 10 hard mode Ice Golem. And it actually works out well, right? Because he's always getting that speed. They'll come up, they'll die. He gets up, he gets the extra turn, he gets back into the A2 faster. So it actually works out pretty well. It makes the run very consistent. And, you know, the kit synergizes well that way, right? So it's good and bad. But yeah, I agree. I agree. There's definitely some things here that we could have changed. As for, you know, my vote, I'm definitely going for the A2 here. This seems really good overall. I mean, I looked at it more from not my endgame account, but more from my $10 whale series, which is what I've been really kind of focusing on and enjoying lately. And this would help out my clan boss team tremendously. The intercept being able to block the stun, right? Assuming that it gets some sort of priority wherever they're based in, is going to be big. And then being able to, you know, get that increased defense and shield is going to give me the long-term vulnerability to be able, or the long-term ability, there we go, of being able to get my clan boss team working. And so that was, on both accounts, that's what I voted. So
wait, we should be getting the increased defense up before the shield goes off, right? So he'll be getting an even fatter shield because of that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. Yep. I'm looking chill. I'm looking at chat right now.
That's fine.
I'm looking at chat.
So speaking of what chat said, so T-Bone said, now that we have intercept, how much money are we going to pay for the person that can place AoE ally intercept on their team?
Yeah, that's going to be. Listen,
guaranteed champion,
not void.
Mythical.
40 sacreds,
mythical.
Void mythical.
Oh God! Void. Do you know what? That is true. They said that void mythicals are going to come out, just not yet.
God.
And we are coming up. What do we have? We have one of each one. They're running into the second of each faction now, starting with the Shadowkin. So we could be seeing some of that. God.
I already know Void Mythical, by the way.
Yeah? What is it?
Yeah.
I know you leaked it. I know you leaked some information a couple of months ago
I'm
on
sorry,
stream.
Polarium. It's gonna be Mythical, Void Mythical, Taras, and Maricha.
Listen, as long as I'm able to trade in my
Hey,
double
that's from
Taras...
first faction. It's a Bannerlord first faction. Okay, first faction.
Supreme Taras, mythical champion.
Supreme Taras. God, okay. That makes sense. Ken is on fire tonight. He is making sense with this. But yeah, overall, the A3, I think no matter which way we went, they would have all been good based on where we're going to use them. But looking at it, the defense focus one is just much more of a wide area to be able to use early, mid, late, anywhere you possibly need to. And it's just all around one of the better skills to vote on.
And yeah, I didn't even think about that, but what PJ said just blew my mind. Like, it makes that skill even that much better because you're getting 60% defense and then the skill's based on the defense. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
So
all right, so let's look at the passive. Now the passive one here is actually I'm enjoying this one because it's definitely going to be interesting about what we vote on. But the damage focusing part prevents the damage death and keeps this champion alive at 1% HP. Kind of works at like the fusion that we just had for the Monster Hunter one, right? Once she what's her name? Once she gets to like 1%, she heals back up.
Xenogrid.
Xenogrid, yeah. The champion will counterattack. If the counterattack kills the attacker, then it will heal him up, right? If it doesn't, then he's dead. So I guess with this one, it's still good because it gives you a counterattack to take down whoever. But I don't like the RNG of being, if it kills me, if it doesn't, just give me an unkillable and make it over and done with, right? Just saying. Like the 50-50 thing, I don't like that. Or just change it, counterattacks and gives me 10% HP or something else. I just, the whole they die type thing, I'm not a fan of. So for me, the damage focus one was automatically, right when I saw this, kind of like, okay, it's good, but I'm not going to vote for it. The defense focus one is at the start of each round, places a counterattack buff on this champion for 1 turn. This debuff or this buff cannot be removed. If we all know Mischief Tank is the bane of our existence, and being able to counterattack and with that A1 have an 80%, possibly 100% chance to provoke the boss, like the Head of Decay, is huge. That is the probably biggest head that we can have issues with, right? And as long as it's protected, we don't ever have to worry about like how a Newt does his A2, and then it gets stripped from us, gets passed around, and then it wipes our run. So the fact that happens is great. At the end of this champion's turn, places a counterattack on him for 1 turn. So he's always going to have counterattack on, which could also help guys with Fire Knight, right? Not for hard mode, right? Actually, I can't lie. He could come in for hard mode Fire Knight because of the shield and the increased defense, right? Because of the new
faultless defense.
The faultless defense, exactly. I didn't even think about it that way. But he could actually help us come in with like those Ghost second teams on Fire Knight. So that might actually not be bad. And then the support. All allies receive 5% more damage for each poison buff on the target, stacks up to 30%. This, I think, was absolute garbage. It is what it is. It's absolute garbage. I can't say anything about it. Like, anybody who votes for the support one, go get checked out. Zero.
Yeah, do me a favor. Pull up the A1 again, just so I can read the synergy with what is going to happen on the counterattacking. Right?
You're going to make me have to go now and try to find it. Okay, that's
fine.
Well, that's fine.
While you're doing that though, I think the damage one's a little bit too conditional. Support's just completely out the window. I think if they were going to do poisons with this champion, they would have done it just a little bit better in general.
All right, there you go.
Oh,
now you
look at how juicy you made that. All right. So default skill. So yeah, attacks one enemy 2 times each hit. 40% chance to provoke. Yeah, I mean that just helps you get provoke out even more, right? With the counterattack.
Although there is something to say here. If he counterattacks with the A1, could we have the extra chance of getting an extra turn with the damage?
So I was gonna ask that too. Same thing with the ally attack. I don't think a counterattack allows for that to keep going. I don't know if that's true or not. Anybody else smarter than me?
Sideways blazing.
Huh?
Oh yes, he's
sideways.
Oh, I'm sideways.
But you look good.
I'm not sure what the hell happened here, but
I'm giving him something.
Let me fix that real quick.
Right, that's not
way. My camera just reset because I use one on my iPhone, so my camera reset, and I was like, okay, what's this? Let's see. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. But go ahead, Zero, keep going.
yeah. While you're trying to figure that out, yeah. So I don't know if it does that, right? Like, I think counterattacks and ally attacks doesn't allow for like the extra turn mechanic, is what my gut tells me, because. Yeah, you get like crazy snowballs that would just go over and over and over again, right? So I don't know if that. I don't think it works that way. So I'm liking the defense again. The defense passive synergizing more with the provoke than anything else on the list. Yeah. And now the question I have is the way it's written. So I know you talked about the Hydra. The protected one goes on at the beginning of each round, so that's like when the round starts, right? You get the one protected, and then after that, I don't think it's protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just gets it at the end of the turn. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's kind of cool because then now that I'm thinking about this more, you constantly keep counterattack up, then you constantly counterattack and provoke them. They're provoked, they're going to hit you, and you're going to keep counterattacking, and you kind of get like a provoke counterattack loop with this dude. And you're going to be uber tanky with the shields and the increased defense from the A3, right? So I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay.
He just got even sexier. I think FinalKenpachi is going to have to go for him now.
If Ken skips on this, I think it might be the last time he's on the podcast. But what the hell? Actually, Ken just actually
Hands on
started.
the ceiling.
What the hell? I don't even know what the hell's going on here. There we okay.
Did you
So,
change? No,
bro, you just made me think that it was my.
This
is why you guys tune into this. This is why. Oh, PJ, what about you, man? I'm still here trying to fix my screen on editing mode.
Yeah, the damage focus one reminds me kind of little buffed Annie-ish, where if she gets revived, she automatically counterattacks who killed her. So like this is a little bit different, but so you're dead either way, right? You're gonna get hit with a fatal blow. You have a chance, or you live on 1 health. You counterattack the person that kills you. If you live, or if you kill him, you live. If you don't kill him, you die. So it's like it's a win-win because you're gonna die either way. I mean it's a cool passive, but I mean I'm gonna go with the defense one. Just gotta be careful. Even if you have enough resistance at 3% in Hydra, and that thing gets stolen off you, you got to have a counter backup to either block buffs or be able to strip it away. Because if they get counterattack up on all the heads, you're in for a rough time. So you gotta be careful with that. But overall, it's like gonna be a guaranteed mischief tank, which is really nice.
Yep, that is definitely good.
Actually,
yeah, so did not even think about that part there, PJ. Guaranteed mischief tank right there. Being
as long
able
as you don't
to
have counterattack on the team.
Yeah. Solid.
That's nice.
Jay, talk to me.
So the damage focus, that one seems pretty cool. You know, we know it's an ogre, and like Blizzard, we could have done some solo strategies with Sand Devil. Could be really good for Arena, but unfortunately, since they had to put that last part right when he has to kill the target. It would have been nice if you don't kill the target, you get 50% of your health, and if you kill the target, you get 100% of the health. That way, it's still good PvE and PvP, both of them. But I mean, and it doesn't counterattack with the A3. Why does it have to be with the A1? There's some people that counterattack with their stronger skill, so that would have made the damage focus more synergized and better. But overall, damage focus is pretty just trash. Defense focus. At the start of the round, yeah, I think it's really good the counterattack, especially because you want to have the protected buff. Did player forget to write that for the second part, or is it only from the beginning of the round that's protected? But if it is protected on the end of the champion's turn, that's going to be nutty, right? Because then you don't have to worry about it getting stripped and spread and all that stuff. But overall, I think that's going to be really good because champions like Angor and I think his name is Bertel Fellhammer. If you guys remember back in the old days of Raid, man, that guy was annoying. He'd get counterattack forever. And if you kept hitting him, he would try to like one-shot you or hero reduction. I could see this guy, we don't know the multis, but I could definitely see him not only provoking and controlling people in PvP and PvE, but also just, what if he does decent damage too? Right? He gives himself increased defense as well. So this guy's going to be pretty versatile all around. I love that defense-focused passive. In terms of the support, that's just situational. Yeah, just the thing is, it sounds good because you're like, okay, like Battle gives you damage for putting poisons out there, right? So you're like, okay, cool. What if I stack Battle this? But the rest of the support is just kind of mad. Like if they would have done a little bit better on the A2 and A3, maybe overall maybe support would have been the best one. But I still go with defense focus. That's still my choice. Yeah.
And just to jump in on that, because I've tested this with my double Akatim team. I built my Akatims for the first time to do increased damage because I was using Corvus's passive, which is the opposite of this one. You get like 25% protection. So I was using Pythion and Corvus to basically throw up a 50% damage reduction out there. And the damage is coming from the poisons when you're going all out on that. And so I quickly realized that the Akatims are still getting squished because I made them glass cannon-y on top of that, and I completely switched that up, made them HP defense, and just let the poisons do the work. So it deals 5% damage for each poison buff. I don't know if that's necessarily with the poisons itself, or is that just damage done. So The poisons are doing the work. This doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it's cool. It's the only champion that would have that, but it's not going to help that much.
Right. Gestal.
I mean, not to again reiterate everything. I feel like it's all been said. I guess the only thing I would love to see is if, and just kind of thinking Hydra centric, that they did that buff cannot be removed all the time on that counterattack just for Hydra, because now you got to build them with resistance. Before you could have probably gotten away without it. I think that's the best one. I think the damage one's it would be frustrating with the RNG, and the support focus is uninspired. I don't know.
Okay.
He's gonna be stat heavy to build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need AC and res.
Yeah. Well, if you're looking at it in Hydra, you're looking at about 450 resistance and about 350 accuracy, which I guess could be offset by your Great Halls depending on how far you are. So I guess maybe now we might be suggesting, always focus accuracy more than anything else for your traditional Hall as opposed to your, because usually I would go damage because I need early on trying to pump up some of the damage in my Great Hall, but maybe now we might start focusing over to accuracy. But again, that depends on where you're going to use them, right? Mr. Ken, Vampire, are you yes or no? Let's see the fans.
Actually, Jay got a good point there on the damage focus. Like, at least give him 50% HP instead of just killing him,
Yep.
Still not going to be enough, obviously. It's still very weak passive skill, in my opinion. I mean, it's not weak, but rest of the skill kits compared to the passive, because his rest of the skill kits are not that great on the damage focus, this is also not going to help him. So I don't like the damage passive. Defense focus is great on the Hydra, it's a protected buff, so you don't have to worry about resistance. But on the second part, at the end of this champion turn, place a counterattack buff on them for 1 turn. This is not protected, right?
Right.
So we probably need a resistance for that, I guess. Hybrid,
for
okay.
Hydra, yeah.
At the start,
About the support, I mean, it's still great, to be honest. I mean, it's whatever, so doesn't really matter, to be honest. But support 3, Pillar need to understand one thing, Poison is outdated. I really don't know why they release a champion like that again. Bedalkazar, for example, I believe, Jay, you mentioned that. Bedalkazar has the same passive skill as well. I actually totally forget about it. None of us are using Bedalkazar because of the dealing extra damage on the poison, It's only the Hell Hades, he's also gonna make a video about him, with the red bandana. Hey guys, this is maximum damage team. It's some stupid champion just to boost their damage as possible. First of all, if you place some poison debuff, you are using poison debuff because bosses are weak against it and you can solo with them, right? That's the point of it. And second of all, your A3 ability revive is, so revive means your champion need to be die so you can revive them, so which means you cannot count on this champion damage, and it's also not damage dealer if we choose the support 3, obviously. So what kind of logic is that? And even we deal more damage on the poison even we deal more damage enemies on the poison, we cannot use that on the arena ship. We cannot use that on the specific boss. We can only use it on the specific boss like Dragon, which is you can also just solo him with the poison itself. You cannot land most of the hydrate doesn't get a poison debuff. And poison debuff actually fill in their debuff limit. If you guys doesn't know, you can only land a 10 debuff. And you can only get a 10 buff. So, for example, I believe Provocate, one of the hit, get a poison debuff. If you stick up the poison with him, you cannot provoke him anymore, so that's also very bad. Yeah.
Correct.
Defense focus is the best. Defense focus definitely the best, man. Again, all of the skill makes sense for the Hydra. Literally.
Yeah. He's definitely, like I said, overall, the kit, depending on what stages you are and what you're looking to do with him, I think no matter which way we go, it would be good. Ideally, if we're looking at the big picture for early to late to end game, the defense one is going to be the number one, and I don't think anyone else disagrees with me here. So it really depends on what everybody else's account needs to vote on. When I looked at this, I didn't look at it as my personal account. I looked at it as what's going to help progress any account. So I think defense-based, the abilities are going to probably be the one. We don't know if he's going to have an aura, which could be interesting. We don't know any of the base stats. But let me ask you guys now, what are you guys thinking he's going to be base-wise? We think he's going to be attack, HP, defense. Let me pass this off to Jay first.
Well, if I think it's based on what people choose, and if we're as a community. You hear me?
Could it though? Could it really be? I
mean, I think
they make support champions that are attack based, Jay.
Well, no, that's just because. Well, that's true. They don't always scale like support defense on their A1, but most support champions are attack on the A1. I don't know if that was because of Arbiter or just a design in the game. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like sometimes support will have defense as an A1 or attack as an A1. Yeah, it does seem weird. I think he could either be most likely support / defense and then just scale him that way, because a support champion can have a high HP or high defense. If they make him an HP champion and he has low defense but he gives increased defense, not as strong. I just think if they're gonna give this and be support, in terms of this whole anniversary of their 5 years and they're doing the raid awards and stuff like that, I think it would just make more sense as a defense champion, because then he would have higher defense scaling. You get the increased defense. It'd just be better. Don't be like Grand O Pedrig, and the champion gives himself increased accuracy, yet he's a support champion. He does have nothing on his whole kit that requires accuracy. There's no logic there. I'm like, what is that? I see that. I'm like, okay, now I got a buff that he can't use. Why can't he get increased res? Right?
Yep.
But that's a side note. Player got to fix their job there. But overall, I think it should be defense. If they start doing other stuff like attack, HP, it's just gonna mess them up, man. Also, just a last note. If this didn't get leaked, we could have had a champion that was just all miscombobulated. It would have been horrible. It would have been a Volt champion.
I'm gonna address
so
that.
It's a good thing we.
That's why they made them aptly named.
I'm gonna address that real quick. We all know that leaks are an issue, which actually every one of us content creators that get the information are pissed off when things get leaked, because it hurts us because we can't prepare things and do things that we want to do like the rest of the content creators can, right? And so leaks are bad. I hate them. I despise them. But with that said, I think this leak, and I'm not saying that I'm the one, I'm not, because I had no information about this. It was given to me, but this leak was actually a good one. So, yeah, we'll put it out there. Plarium, I guess the heads up on this should have been just give us all the skills up at the start, right? PJ, what about you, brother? What do you think? Attack, support?
So one thing to mention before that, so when they broke it down, it said damage focus, defense, support.
Mm-hmm.
So when we read damage, I feel like everyone just assumes it's attack based damage dealer.
True.
But
well, he does bring attack in his kit though.
True. Yeah, I guess that is. But that's also kind of like they're forcing him to be attack. What if we wanted to be a defense or like an HP damage dealer?
True.
But yeah, he does have increased attack in his kit. So that's one thing that I was just thinking. We're just assuming that's attack based when it could be something different. But that's true. If we go down the defensive tree, which I think everyone seems like they're doing, then I would hope he would be a defensive base champion. Get that base defense as high as possible. Help that shield out, and I think that'd make the most sense if he's defense based.
Okay.
What was the question? Is that the question? Or what type?
Yeah. What do you expect him? So you say defense. Okay.
If we're going down the defense tree, I hope he's going to be defense based.
Makes sense. G Mills, hit me.
I kind of feel like they were gonna make it based on the selection. I think that makes the most sense, especially because he's doing increased attack in one or increased defense in one of them. So I think that's probably why they actually labeled them. But I don't know. I think if they're gonna do this moving forward, honestly, like we need more information.
Right.
We need to know. I think we need to know affinity. We've said all this already, but I think this is another thing. They either tell you that it will be based off of the A3. Like this is very important because the type of champ, defense, HP, support, attack, whatever, is going to be based off of this A3. So this is the important choice, like the most important choice. However they do it. But I think that's the only way they can do these things if they're going to have very specific buffs or debuffs that would help their class. So, I think if we choose the defensive route, it's got to be defense.
Okay, all right. Ken, what about you?
I believe community going to vote on the defense, and I believe he's going to be defense.
Okay.
Type.
All right. Zero.
I want him to have a 5,000 base defense and a 50% defense in all battles or a buff. I think it should absolutely be defense and HP. If we're building him as a tanky champion, he needs to be tanky. And I will say, I know the leaks came out and I watched some of the content on that, but like I'm one of those that there's so much information in this game that I just shut it out until I have the champion type thing. So I didn't actually go through this exercise of reading the kits and thinking about how they're going to synergize and blah 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 until sitting here live. And I'll just say that all the other choices besides the defense tree, I'm not excited about. But he looks like sexy. Build him, try him out. Let's see what you can do with him. More flexible with the defensive tree. So yeah, I hope he comes in defense and tanky. Even if he doesn't have an aura, I think he brings a lot with that kit versus the other choices we have to choose from.
Okay. Hey, so I just got a message here from Plarium saying that your application to enter the CC program has been denied based on the fact that we're not taking any ridiculous suggestions that you might give us. Sorry, man. I'm just telling you what they told me. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, I know I was going over the top, but yeah, it'd be really nice to have him. Because again, read the kid, the HP and the defense, and he's counterattacking, putting provokes out. Like you want him to be chunky, right? You want him to be tanky. So yeah, I hope they do that.
All right. So I want to touch on two quick things here. First of all, now we will do the raid segment, the raid award stuff when this gets released. We'll break all that down, but I do want to give a big shout out to Mr. FinalKenpachi here, who is being nominated. At this point, make sure if you guys haven't voted, if you have multiple accounts, like your alts, something like that, vote on each one. Go give this guy Streamer of the Year. He deserves it.
Yeah.
He streams 6 days a week, comes in for the podcast on the 7th day, and guys, for him right now, what is it? It's almost midnight for you right now, right, Ken?
11 p.m.
11 p.m. It's like 4 p.m. my time right now. So he's taking the time. He's a great content creator. He's a lot of fun to watch on stream, guys. So make sure you guys go and give him a vote there. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about everything else. You guys can already see who I voted for all here. But, take the time and go and vote on this. Please. Please. It does matter.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, we got to support our own, right? We got to support our knights. Now, the next thing I actually want to talk about is going to be this path that we have coming up, right? And it's for the new fusion. And where am I going here? Right here. The hero's path for Estrid Dream Song.
Wait, can you show them where to vote real quick?
Oh, yep. Let me, so it's actually, if you come in to chat, community week, right? The Choice Awards right here.
Yeah.
You can vote. You can just come right in here, details, and then it'll bring you up to this page where it says to vote. You put in your UMID number plus your in-game tag, and it'll allow you to vote. Right?
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you for reminding me there, Mr. PJ. All right, so Hero's Path. We're gonna have her. You're gonna be able to get a 5-star Perfect Soul for Estrid Dream Song. Now, we're gonna get some other stuff, right? Mythical tomes and other valuable things. I don't know what the other valuable things are. Actually, I want to see if I could possibly see it in the Plarium Play client, but
100,000 silver.
That's too much. You're being generous there, PJ.
Sorry.
You're being generous. It's 5.
I'm trying to get on their good side.
That's 5, Bruce. Hey, you know what, Zero? That's how you get into it. You give those kind of suggestions.
Yeah.
But this is going to be an interesting event. We're starting to get these more and more right after every fusion. So, Ken, I'm going to start off with you first. Are you planning to go for this? Did you go for this fusion, as a matter of fact? And what do you plan on doing? Because we are going to be able to use soul stones and champion upgrades. So basically champ training. So hit it off, my man.
I mean, I'm going for fusion because her look. I cannot skip something like that, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's actually
wait a minute. You're gonna go for the fusion because she looks good, but a fusion that's actually good, you won't go for?
This fusion's good.
I don't care about their skill, to be honest. If they look good, I will go. And I'm sorry, the Vault Keeper doesn't looking good.
Not your type.
Okay, so
Not
just
my type,
because she's got the pretty eyes and the,
Bro,
and the
come
long,
on, she's
and the-
amazing,
and the
man.
long
Look at
legs,
her, like
you're gonna go over.
It's the
I'm
legs.
simple, man. Like
It's the egg basket.
Egg basket for Ken.
Okay, all right. We know what Ken decides. I mean, yeah. All right, continue.
I mean, no, she's actually very decent.
No,
I
she's not bad,
currently
yeah.
don't. I currently don't plan to use her because I have a big book issue. So I still didn't book my Armans because I don't have a book. So she's not my priority, but I'm definitely going for her. She's very decent champion for the Hydra. 5-star can make a big difference, man. Like 5-star blessing is huge, guys, especially after they revert the blessing system. You can get an insane bonus from the 5-star. I don't think she is a arena champion. Could be useful to actually, like, she's getting extra turn after she fill your tormentor. This could be nice, but I still don't believe she's arena champion. She's more like the Hydra champion. For Hydra, you can give her cruelty actually. 5-star can give you a decent amount decrease defense, or because she's gonna be accuracy for the land, the decrease speed and the weaken debuff. You can also give her Brimstone, 5-star, again, very high chance. Up to the person, it's hard to say something go for it, because this kind of events are not easy, guys. You guys need to open lots of soulstone, and you guys need to train lots of the champion for it. In my opinion, champion like that, which is, I don't think her kits are crazy, belong to the soul, you know. I recommended people, if you guys low spender or free to play, skip the soul event, prepare for the next fusion or stuff like that. It's always better to get a champion than instead of their soul, to be honest. Correct. In my opinion. But again, really depends on your budget, guys. 5-star definitely can be nice with her, so good luck. Hopefully it's not that gonna be hard, but it will.
So the only thing I don't like about this is it doesn't tell us if we're going to be able to. It looks like it's just going to be the perfect soul, so we have to go all in or nothing.
Yeah,
we're not going to be able to build it up like they did with our Mons, and I hate that part right there.
I really hate that as well. If we get 3-star, 4-star, you know, it will be still great. It doesn't cost us that much, but looks like on the 5-star, yeah.
Yeah, I like the way they did with the Armands. I think that's even better than this. So
yeah, they make everything easier on Armands. Yeah. I don't know why.
Well, because they got to sell you the solution. Just wait, Ken. Wait. I listen. I know. We talked about this before stream, and I got to explain myself, guys. I thought that the new mythical champion, from what I was told, from some gossip, was going to be busted as hell, but it turns out they were wrong. Which in turn means I was wrong. So that said, I will never be, talking about that kind of stuff again, because yeah. But no, I'm not a fan. Listen, Plarium, if you're watching, which I know you are, keep these path events for guaranteed champions. and give us the Armand's way. What were they called? They were called Titan Path.
Yeah.
Give us Titan Path.
Event.
Yeah, give us Titan Path events for the fusions, for the souls. Right? Just make it easier. Just do it, because at least that way everybody can get something. So Titan Path for the champs soul is going to be great. But if you're going to do these Heroes Path events, just do it for the guaranteed, please. I think that makes more sense, and the community would be much more happier with it. Mr. G Mills.
I don't see anywhere I'm gonna use her. I feel like she's interesting, good, probably better champ for like newer accounts than kind of accounts that have been around for longer. And I hate champ training. Like, I hate champ training.
Why?
And I have one soul stone, so what do you do? What do I do? Probably not gonna go for it. Yeah. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I don't see me going for it.
Okay. All right. Jay? I know it's not a great Floriaka soul, so you're a little toss up, but
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone should, try to get a 5-star soul. Because the stats is super good, especially the accuracy and resist, which she needs accuracy to use her kit. So beautiful. I'm gonna try to get it, honestly. But it's I don't have that many soul stones. I pulled last time during the event that they had, so I'm probably gonna have to do champ training, which I don't like to do champ training either. But I'll try my best. But yeah. Oh, nice 6-star.
Both of those.
Only 293 left.
Yeah. But overall, yeah, she reminds me of basically like she's like a deacon, man. Like the extra turns, and they get to go and put debuffs. I'm gonna definitely use her. I also think of her. She's really good synergy. I was talking about on stream with Mikage, right? They both sleep. And Mikage doesn't put decreased speed, but if someone is under decreased speed or weakened, she will put a sleep. So imagine just if I don't have a Siffy, but some people use Mikage and Siffy, but I don't. So if I have Mikage and her, I can just put like 2 sleep 2 people. If they have 2 people, it's GG. Like, you never get a turn.
It feels good. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So and exactly, she has high base speed as well. So like my Kaja's 112 and Korra's like a little slower because I'm building her in Stone Skin. So I might go back speed meta and use her as my fastest champion instead of like Arbiter or something. So I'm gonna definitely try her out.
Okay. I like Darn right here, and he's like, Plarium, please take food stamps. Yeah. PJ, what about you? Are you going for it?
I'll have to see how the points are looking. I have some soul stones saved. Depends if I want to torture myself with more champion training. I would like the blessing. I definitely think she's really good. I could see her being good in live arena for certain people, like as a double booster. Like JR said, that sleep can be devastating in live arena. And she also has like one of the highest base speeds. She's at 115, so you can definitely get her going really fast. And that A3 into the A2 is really, really nice. You're getting what was it? You're getting that's wrong champion.
Extra.
You're getting increased speed, increased attack. You're filling your turn meter a little bit of all allies, and right into that decreased speed weaken. You're lowering their turn meter by a little bit. That can really be turning the tides in like live arena, getting them towards all the momentum for you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, if you have Arbiter, I would personally have skipped it if I was early on. If I didn't have the resources, I would have definitely skipped it. But it's a gotta catch them all type of thing, right? Zero.
Yeah, Plarium, if you're watching, you're the masters of FOMO.
Now he's trying to get on their good side.
No. So here's the deal. First of all, question to Chad: would you buy a 3-star Taroth Soul?
A 3-star Taroth Soul?
It's probably yes.
Yeah,
give him extra defense.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Well, so it goes back to this, right? So that's going to be, I got to use my gold coins, which I prefer to use my gold coins to buy the Immortal Soul Essence. I feel like that's a better bang for the buck versus the Immortal Soul Stones. The Immortal Soul Stones are like the worst, in my opinion. And so yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to do this, but then that kind of shoots me in the foot for this thing. So I'm always like, first of all, Plarium, kudos for you giving us the opportunity to earn like a 5-star soul. The way you built your other soul mechanics are really crappy, and it takes forever to get up to a 5-star anyway. Right? Just taking the Tross's example, it's 120 to get the 3-star, and then it just keeps snowballing from there. So like a part of me is like, yeah, FOMO, like go for it. Even if I don't even think I'm in like Gestal's boat. Like I don't think I'll ever use this champion. I'm a not even puller until I need a puller type thing. But at the same time, it's like, how do you pass up a 5-star soul? So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'll say all that to say I'm on the fence. I'm about to go buy a Terra soul.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't if you had it in the shop, but yeah, I mean, if you can go for it, definitely go for it. Again, Plarium, just switch those. Use the paths for the guarantees, and just don't do this. Make it if you're gonna give us the fusion and you want us to do the soul stones, or you want us to chase the souls, then you got to make it the same way that we do. We can't just be gated behind 1-day events, right? Let's just make it real.
So are we getting no Titan event then?
So it doesn't feel like we're getting a Titan event.
Yeah.
There's
That's
nothing
like
in
the
there.
first time in a couple of months.
Yeah, so it's just going to be the hero's path, and that's it. Like and that's kind of what turns me off. Is like, we know it's going to require like 70,000-80,000 points and some dumb amount of stuff, but is it really going to be worth it? Like, especially after we're just coming off, what is it, a champ training right now that we got to do? I think it's like 8,000 points or something like that, or 10,000 points to get the. Okay, so 6,000 points. Probably gonna go for this because, man, why the hell not? But again, now that puts me even more in a little tougher bind. But let's just swap those. All right, let's talk real quick before we end the podcast for today. What has your week been like, and what do you plan on doing next week? Mr. Ken, what about you?
I put my third Rotos on the last week's secret event. I only opened like 3 secret and boom. Like, I guess it's time to make my first plus, but I don't know, man. Like, I want my first plus champion something special, Like, so I didn't use him yet. Just put him there.
Wait. Did you just say a +2 Rotos is not a special event?
I mean, I don't know. I prefer like more like Harima.
I'm unsubscribing right now.
Like,
this is the last time you're on.
If I pull one more Harima, I will. But Rotos is too easy to counter. Like especially on live and
UDK. That's it. And
Harima and Ultimate Death Knight can counter him pretty well.
He will eat everything up. He will eat everything up over time. But yes, go ahead.
Next week, I'm gonna be chill. Looks like I finished the fusion almost. Just need to finish my ice golem. Thinking to skip this soul event as well, so we can save lots of the resources. And also thinking to skip the next fusion as well, so I can save more resources, which is amazing. Gonna be get ready for the next current event. Hopefully, Pillar not release anytime soon. My void still 80, I think. I need to give me like a couple of more months to apply before you release. Recently they are doing lots of great guarantee champion, man. Like I really don't want to skip them, so I'm a little bit on the power saving mode. So, but I wish you guys good luck. Hopefully you guys can pull something good on your soul.
Okay, yeah, I hear you on the saving. I'm just there. I'm sitting at 23 primals right now. And
wait, you didn't open your primal on the last weeks?
Nope. No, because I thought that the mythical champion for was gonna be busted. But, I think right now I'm just going to save them for, like, the heroes pass that are guaranteed. Because they're worth, what is it, like 300, 400 points, something like that?
Yeah.
Gestal, what about you? What happened this week, and what are your plans for next week?
Well, as I was telling you guys before we got on air, I failed at my 16th attempt. Well, I won't say attempt. My 16th Lego on a Void Shard during a 10x or 15x Georgid event. I failed yet again. I'm 0 for 16. Still no Georgid. But I did get the Tagran, or however you say it, the Organ Tribe, 2-headed. Increased speed with a passive that boosts max HP. So I'm going to build him out, and see what we could do with them. I'm thinking I'm gonna see if I can maybe find a place on my double Yumi team there. I'm afraid that Trunda could die on my Hydrocom, but I do run Tars as a second damage dealer there, and that could be interesting. So I might try that out this week.
Listen, I mean, you're not missing much. He's only got 3 rats sitting on the back of him. You know,
bro. Let me tell you, man. Like the one champ that would would just help me out so much in live arena, because all you do is see Stone Skin, is this guy. And I did get Gizsmack a couple weeks ago, and that dude has been super good because he can melt off the Stone Skin. But like my biggest issue is I have nothing that can ignore Stone Skin right now. So I would love to have this guy.
okay. So maybe you should have voted for the damage boosting of this guy, of this new fusion.
Well, yeah, that ability isn't what George's ability is, man. George and his Rotos with Void and it's through Stone Skin. Like, come on. He's so broken.
All right. Jay, what about you?
I pulled a Mountain King previously. It was my first one, so I just vaulted him. I'm not going to be able to use him, unfortunately. And then been basically doing a sponsor and just streaming and helping people out, preparing myself for the next 4 months. And yeah, I've been doing this fragment summon. It's pretty simple, easy. And actually might even consider using the new Volt Epic they're going to give us. So might consider maybe finding a way to use her. Miss Adeline, right? Chronicler Adeline. And then after that, probably when they release the actual fusion, which I don't know if we talked about. Is he going to be a hybrid or is he going to be a FFS? Or traditional?
We were kind of went a little more in depth, but yeah, I had a whole bunch of other questions prepared for that. But I guess we've got a couple more weeks to touch up on him, so hopefully we get some more information. But yeah, no, she's not even a Void Epic, bro. She is a 4-star chicken or 5-star chicken. I think a couple of the comments I might. Yeah. Next week.
I have to say, I like that whole Adeline chase setup thing, though. I like the kind of, and maybe this is the Titan kind of in lieu of a Titan event almost. Like the phase 2 is awesome, man. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
they should do more of this
almost
stuff.
3 5-star there. I don't know why people
it's
complain
amazing.
that much.
I agree.
I'm loving that.
I agree. And I think like next week we are going to be talking about some things. Plarium is doing good, which probably won't have a lot of you guys watching because, we all know the sentiment of the community with Plarium, but we do got to give them credit for some of the things that they are doing right. PJ, what about you, my man?
Yeah, well, I got to finish up this fusion, just pretty much the champion training and the artifact enhancement. Looking at we'll see how the soul, the hero's path is. I've been doing more live arena recently. Almost got Quintus. I'll be in gold 3 pretty soon.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it more. And then just trying to keep working on Hydra. That's mostly why, just trying to get better Hydra teams or better Hydra numbers. So trying to work on the area bonus for that. And yeah, streaming a lot. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Hey, Jay, I know you said you got a sponsor going on. Do me a favor, drop your link for your sponsor in case anybody else. You are doing, I believe, an account takeover, a full account takeover, guys. This guy's going way above and beyond what I'm doing, right, for a give back, but he's doing a full account takeover if you get to level 25, I think it is, and like 2 void shards. So, and that includes a gear cleanse. But drop that in the link in the chat, please, both for YouTube and Twitch. So if people want to help out, can help out. Mr. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, so we pulled King Galkabar, so first time getting him in our sacred event Friday night. Also, we discovered our new go-to bourbon, which is Redemption Bourbon, not sponsored. But
YouTube,
not sponsored.
YouTube, that's not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored. Yep, full disclaimer. So just going to stream a lot this week. I think I did some Valheim on my daytime streams, and they just did a re-release of Captain of Industry. They just did a big upgrade for that, and that's a fun game that I've never taken the time to really get into. So I'm playing that a little bit off stream, and may just jump into a little bit of that. And but then do our same. We start more into the raid, and then when we get done with all of our stuff, we switch over if the timing's right. So anyway, just looking forward to this week and a lot more streaming.
Nice. So actually, I had a really funny moment this week, and it was concerning my son. We were sitting around the dinner table Friday night, right? And I've got a 7 and an 8-year-old, and obviously each one will tattletale on each other, right? And so my daughter comes up to me and says, "Daddy, Peter said the S word." I was like, "We don't," even though I curse, a lot on the shitty pulls and stuff like that, in front of the kids, we try not to. And my wife's like, "What S word?" I'm like, "Same thing here." And so my son had to figure out a creative way to say it without getting in trouble. So he turns around and he tells us, "Did you guys know that the Titanic was the biggest shit that ever sank?" And I'm like, "What did you just say?" He's like, "It was the biggest ship." I was like, "No, that's not what you said." So this 8-year-old ingeniously figured out how to say the curse word and make it so close that when I came back at him for "What did you say?" he was like, "No, I said ship, not shit." Like, you little... But yes.
You little shit.
Exactly. So, kudos to him for being inventive. But as for what I plan to do next week, try to finish up the sponsor. I got to get streaming a little bit more, guys. I know during the day I haven't been streaming a lot. Just been busy with a lot of other things. But yeah, thank you to all you guys out there that are helping out with the sponsor as well, both for myself and Jay. It does mean a lot, right? And we do try to give back as much as we possibly can within our means to help out and show you guys that we care. All right, let's talk shout-outs. Ken, what you got for a shout-out for me, brother?
I shout out Ivy League Gaming last week, but I like to shout out again because Ivy League Gaming and Odd1 Gaming, guys, they are have a baby now. I believe it's happened yesterday. So both of them, congrats, guys. Ivy League is mainly focusing on Watcher of Ram right now and the Dragon Hair, I believe. Odd1, same, but he's also the official content creator of the Raid Shadow Legends. Make sure to follow both of them, guys. Show some love. Thank you.
Agree. Ivy and Odd1, congrats on your baby girl. And guys, I want you guys to think a bit hard, because the next creator question for next week's podcast is going to be, what passive does Ivy's and Odd1's Gaming's baby girl have? Okay, and it's got to be a good one. And then Yang's Gaming's. We didn't do one for him, but we will. Mr. G Mills, what about you, brother?
I'm gonna give a shout out to a new stream. Well, he's been streaming a long time. He was doing Clash of Clans, a German streamer, but he's moved over to Raid Shadow Legends. He goes by On Fire with 2 E's, ONFIREEYT. Man, he's putting in crazy time on the streams. He's doing like 10, 12-hour streams all the time. Go check him out. Speaks English, speaks German. So if either of those or something you speak, go over there, check him out. Awesome dude.
Nice. There's definitely, I will say, over the last couple of weeks, like, I've been putting a lot of time in on YouTube and, seeing what's coming up. And I can't tell you how many raid content creators there are out there. Like, I'm looking at guys that are just, there's hundreds of raid content creators that are, multilingual, or bilingual, I guess I should say, or English speaking. But yeah, there's, just take a second out there. And I know we have a lot of the big ones, and shout out to all the big guys, because they've done a phenomenal job growing their channels. But there's a lot of good ones out there, a lot of small channels that are, hidden gems and stuff. Jay, what about you, man? What you got for a shout out?
Man, I have like 2, but I'm gonna go.
Go with both of them.
Yeah. Well, I want to shout out Pogo Pink Tie for doing an amazing job on the free to play on the Hell Hades challenge. I mean, the man got Ancora and Armons on a free to play that's less than 90 days. That's crazy, right? That's insane.
The new free-to-play god is Pogo Pink Tie. Sorry, Ken.
So shout out to him. And I want to get another one to Grim Reaper TV Raid, which I just found out the man's not even official. I thought he's been official all these years. He's been streaming as long as I have. Mm-hmm. So shout out to him. He's still, he's still streaming, still playing this game, and he does a lot of takeovers as well. And I'm gonna try to see if we can help out, push a little bit more for Plarium to actually, because I think he's a really reliable and he knows a lot of information too. So why is he not in the content creation program?
Agreed. Grim's an ex-clanmate of mine. I love actually hanging on stream with him. And I always use my channel points in coaching, just to kind of, see. I guess troll him a little bit, right? But have some fun. But yeah, big love to Grim Reaper. Mr. Zero, what about you?
I'm muted. All right, so I'm wearing this shirt. This dude is one of the OGs when my wife and I started. Well, I've been streaming before then, but when my wife started doing food and drink, this dude found us through that. And he's not part of the raid community, but if y'all have ever seen my my intro video, his name's Rusty Rhymes. It's got rhymes on the back of the shirt. See that? But just much love to this dude. He's been to my house. He's in Rhode Island, and he's just a good content creator. He does a lot of food and drink with his wife. He also will do like the walking streams through nature and stuff. He's just a good guy. And I was going through my streamer closet, picking out my wardrobe, and I saw this shirt, so I decided to pick it. And so we'll give him a shout out. Give him some love.
All right, PJ, what about you, man?
We're gonna give a shout out to Airfern2. That's Air, and then that's FERN number 2. He's been around the raid game for a while. He had a endgame account. He took a break, and now he's back doing a full free-to-play series. He does the YouTube as well. Same thing, Airfern2 on the YouTube and Twitch. Knows all about the game. He's really cool, chill. Mod in my stream. He hangs out a lot, and so yeah, check him out. He's been just started streaming like last week, I think was his first stream. He's been doing YouTube for a few months. But yes, he's on Twitch, and check him out.
Nice. So my shout out's actually going to go to somebody I've been spending a lot of time with lately on Discord. Late nights, we're just hanging around, chilling, just bullshitting, having some fun. It's actually going to be Nick Collins from Storm Gaming Community. Everybody goes to sleep. Everybody's, different countries and stuff like that. But me and him are both based in the US. So we're up to like 1, 2 in the morning sometimes. We're just chatting about nothing or anything. And it's actually kind of fun. So my shout out's going to go to him just for being there. Like just sometimes hanging out with somebody and just talking to them, even if it's about bullshit is helpful. It's good. So big shout out to him. Love him. He's actually a supporter of the channel as well too. So, all right. I gotta ask, where can everybody find you? Zero.
Yep, follow me on YouTube at Zero Brew, and then of course on Twitch TV, Zero Brew. I actually even have a what's it called? A TikToks. So in my pocket, there's a whole thing of TikToks. Make sure you follow, link, subscribe, do the things. Creepy Heart Hands goes out to you and the community.
All right, PJ, where can everybody find you, brother?
On Twitch, MXPJE. I stream usually 2 times weekdays, afternoon and late night, I guess depending on where you are, or early morning. But yeah, I'm on a lot on Twitch. Not really much on YouTube, maybe in the future. But yeah, definitely Twitch, MXPJE.
All right. Jay, where can everybody find you, my man?
You can find me on all social platforms, JRStar3, but I mainly stream on YouTube and Twitch.
All right. Ken, where can everybody find you?
I'm streaming every day on the Columbus Reset, after Columbus Reset on the Twitch by FinalKenpachi. I'm also making content on the YouTube with the same name, FinalKenpachi.
All right. And Mr. Gmails, what about you, brother?
Gestal Gaming on Twitch and YouTube's, and Gestal.gg, the best website that has not come out yet.
You are hyping this thing up so much.
Well, it's out there. You can go check it out. But there's a lot more coming. But it's out there. You go check it out. Have some fun with it.
All right. And you can find them all here on the Knights of Teleria podcast, along with any other raid content creator out there. If you want to come on and join us and just have some good times, chat, it's open to everybody, guys. It's a community show. I don't keep this for just official, non-official creators. It's you come on, I give everybody a shot to have some fun, chat. It's helpful for everybody to get some, there's a lot of people out there that don't get recognized unless, you bound yourself with the community. And again, I started this out a year ago, not thinking that we would be here a year now with our 43rd episode and still doing this. And it was it was
Sorry.
definitely it's definitely been a trip. You know, and I hope that there's many more years to come. All right. So as for YouTube, guys, I can't rate anybody, unfortunately, but for Twitch, we are going to be rating Mr. Metaverse Truck, who is another raid content creator from CHQ. When we head over there, guys, do make sure to give him a follow. He's a great content creator, great guy to have some fun with. I do watch him a lot of the times. As always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other, and we'll catch you guys all next time.
I was actually gonna give Metaverse a shout out, so that's